All
That's
right, keep
weird.
it quiet.
All right.
No talking. Silent.
Is it weird that we're starting on time though?
Well,
I'm just singing.
was it too clean? Too clean for you?
It's different.
So we start on time, perfect, everything's great, and then talking over the intro, ruining the fucking intro.
Who's doing that? God damn it, you guys! We were so close to doing well. Who's talking over the intro?
I thought we were
Jake's
on mute.
using the wrong fucking microphone. We can hear the echo. We can hear the car horns outside. We can hear the gunshots. Fucking unprofessional. This guy buys the $9,463 million mic and then uses his webcam. Give me a break.
You know, it's difficult for us to make time to do these. I will say, actually, I have not done anybody else's show so far this year. I've been asked a lot. I just unfortunately have not had the time to do it. But I will be going on the Letterhacks podcast next Tuesday. Letterhack, insanely talented and smart guy. So I will be going over there.
I just
It's a shame. Yeah,
I thought that was.
Why do we have to start every
a
fucking
sweet
goddamn
thing
episode
for
with some whole
Aaron
like,
to
I love
say.
Matt. Matt's the best. Letterhack's awesome. How come we can't start the show with an Andrea is awesome moment? Or
Yeah,
a Jake is
give me the
really
clip.
well dressed.
Where's
Or a
that clip?
Sandy is
All
like,
right,
you know,
I'll
her
take that.
channels band.
Give me
You
the
know, like we have
Yeah,
to
but I'm
start
here.
it with Letterhack is amazing, like this
No,
fucking
no, no,
stuffed dick show. Like what the
It's
fuck,
a
man?
nice thing to say. It was just
It's a
he's
horrible
such
thing
a
to
sweet
say.
guy.
It's
Sandy is
Sweet
officially the dangerous one. We got the golden boy, the dangerous one.
Yeah.
I guess the hacker.
Yeah.
Sandy
is
Danger.
very threatening. And Jake is like the
sex pot.
Trojan horse because
Sex pot.
very unassuming, suit and tie, also knows like MMA fighting. Right? So like
I just assumed my value was as the the seducer.
well, I don't know.
If that
I
ever
mean,
came up.
maybe. But look, you're right about Sandy being very scary and dangerous and
I
a
am.
threat
Yeah.
to the entire internet. They're so
I'm a threat.
afraid.
Don't
Sandy.
leave your 13-year-old around me.
Now here we go.
Do not be honest about like if they're ever like, oh, we're so sorry. Oh, we're undoing this, and here's a $50 gift certificate to Starbucks or whatever. You make sure you tell the audience always that like I was banned for being too left.
Yep.
They canceled me. You got to
Yep.
get that. You got to get that.
I can't say it
cancel
was
money.
the AI
It wasn't a
hallucination.
mistake. It was not a mistake. They
You
came
want me
after
to get
you.
my tinfoil hat?
First
Yeah.
Hassan Piker,
for money. Yeah.
then Sandy Shellis. That's what
100%.
happened.
Sandy Wendy, hide the kids.
But everyone has been very concerned. I've been talking
know.
about it on my streams, and
I was
everyone has
concerned.
been supportive and upset, and people are talking about it on the Discord. Do you have any updates for the audience? What is going on with the situation? Just to be clear for everyone, they took down Environmental Coffee House from YouTube with a shoddy explanation, but no evidence.
No.
And no warning, no strikes leading up to it, no chance to make things right or take down a particular video or anything like that. And this was after nearly 8 years of rock solid
Yeah.
reputation building,
As a doomer.
environmentally friendly
They hate
content. right?
doomers. All
But
right.
so where are we at?
Where we are is right now I have a case number and it's in progress, and it was in progress as of June 3rd, 2025 at 12:02 a.m., which is promising because now that I have that, I think humans will be working on it because I'm persistent and I kept chatting. You have to start. First of all, the thing I did wrong was get hysterical and write a quick response, which because I didn't take this seriously at all. So I wrote like this friggin' stupid appeal, like, what are you kidding? Like that. And then they come back, nope, your channel's not going back on until I got into YouTube's chat people that were human, talked to them about all this, wrote a better appeal, complained about whatever, got people on X to retweet it, made a stink there. to the point where they wrote me back in private message. We know you're upset, and maybe we can help you with, their stupid fucking their stupid links to help.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa, whoa,
soup.
whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa! Did you
Oh, you
just
didn't
say
know this?
fuck?
What the
Oops.
fuck was
What?
that? Sandy,
And then
what-
not only did you say fuck, you went oops like it was a bad thing.
Okay,
Like,
fuck.
can you
Oops.
just let it fly?
this is
I'm
why
letting
Sandy's
it
not allowed around
fly.
kids.
When people, I think it was Andrea. I think it was Andrea was banned from YouTube or something. They took down her
I've been
channel,
banned
and
from everything.
They
and
took
I
down your whole channel?
No,
Yeah,
that never
this-
happened. I've been stricken
Suspended.
multiple times, and I've been all that kind of stuff.
so
but
I
they didn't
reached
put my
out
whole channel.
to Mike
Hi,
Figueredo
everybody.
because this happened to him once, and he was able to fix it. And I said, "What did you do?" And he goes, "This is nuts." And it's not like you can do this across social media. It has to be on Twitter. You
Mhm.
tag and get everyone to tag YouTube and at Team YouTube
Mhm.
over and over and over until they're like, okay, geez. And then they get somebody involved. It has to be on Twitter, right?
Yeah,
They're
it
not
does.
on YouTube or Blue
Blue
Sky. They're not
yet,
anywhere.
or
It's
they might be lurking. Yeah.
why is it so anyway? See, it worked. I remember talking to you on the phone and in Discord. This is what you
And
got to do.
I
Nobody
right,
sound personal or
I got more, but they're like, "It sounds like you're having a really difficult time right now." This is a private message to me. "If you need a little extra emotional support, we encourage you to take advantage of the resources listed in the help center." They're talking about suicide and all this other crap. I'm like, "Wait a
That was
minute."
AI.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is,
You know,
nothing I would off
I
myself
was talking
over.
about wanting to kill myself once, and then YouTube sent me a helpful message saying that they're always there for me. And you know what? That made me put the noose away. I thank you,
That's
YouTube,
funny.
for
I was
being there
talking
for
about
me.
killing myself, and they gave me an ad for a local gun store.
Oh, well,
YouTube is it depends on the day. I mean,
yeah, well,
I don't hate YouTube. This is the thing. I love YouTube. I really like the platform. I like
Here we
being
go.
on YouTube.
Same.
That's the thing. I don't want to lose my channel
What makes
because
it
I
so
love YouTube.
frustrating,
What do
yeah.
I want to go to Rumble?
Just so
I mean, come
frustrating.
on.
they use
Rockfin?
the term partner, right? They say, "Oh,
Right.
you're partnering with us now." Oh, really? It doesn't feel
Right.
like that. It feels like you can do whatever you want, and I'm just like, "Oh well." They really
Sandy.
should. There should be something more official about it. I'm just
Well,
saying.
it's
I
the
do
thing is
think.
what?
Oh no, I was
You
just going
do
to say. I
think?
agree with
You think? Yeah,
Occasionally,
my
it's
dear.
like a headache that hurts, right? Wait, no, a headache. No, it's damn. I fucked up the fry line. Anyway, a headache with pictures. That was it. Anyway, Sandy, I was just going to say I agree with you. Please continue.
I have nothing to say.
I didn't
Okay.
have very much. Dang it.
this is your segment, and you have nothing to say.
Okay, my segment
Sometimes-
is that they screwed up because the original letter was disgusting and said sexualization of minors is against the policy. Have you seen my channel?
I mean, it's
seriously.
also like it's also kind of against the law, So like you
Yeah,
like think you
point
wouldn't even
to
need a
it.
YouTube policy.
But
Where did you
the-
do that?
the
That's
joke-
what
I mean,
I
I've
want.
heard you say
The-
Jared Kushner, but that's
Oh, you stop.
that only
the joking,
rhymes.
the joking on Left Past 10. If anybody took that seriously, that's crazy. But then when you say, like my project person that is very high up in the company knows that it's AI hallucinations, and basically he was saying they're taking bits from comments and chats and links and
Comments?
everything goes into the AI pot, and then they distill it and boil it down into a big batch of bullshit, and then it automatically pulled the channel down because of whatever. And they're trusting this AI before even any humans get involved. And you have to go through all these hoops. And you were right about the Twitter part, because now we have a personal relationship. So I don't off myself, for God's sakes. Ugh.
You're not gonna.
just to spite him.
No, you
I'm
shouldn't.
gardening.
Just kidding.
And if you did that without calling me first, I'd be upset. So
Yeah,
don't
well,
make me upset. But
that's
like,
not gonna
call him
happen.
first,
I have
do
6
100
cats
Thompson
and a
on his head.
garden.
I
I'm
cannot
so
stress enough that there
sorry.
is nothing better for a politics channel than to be temporarily and erroneously cut off. That
Oh yeah, no,
You're gonna come
milk
back with a bump.
this
You'll see.
for-
There'll be
oh,
the
yeah.
band bump.
Oh yeah.
no,
Well,
I'm
Sam-
telling you,
Mike-
from my
Sam
experience,
says-
it works every time. You get all these
Sam
fucking
says.
like these popular cocksuckers, you know, to retweet your garbage, and then all of a sudden you get like 1,000 new subscribers, and it's like shit.
Yeah,
You know,
Solidarity.
I just want to go back to talking about, you know, the things that I love to talk about. That
Like what? Give me
pertains to
5 things you love.
climate, environment, National Weather Service, National Oceanic
kind of the
and
same- these are all kind of the
Atmospheric
same thing.
Administration.
That's
nope,
like all the same thing.
NASA, meteorology, climate, science,
already
the
said climate.
Arctic. Oh, I could go on and on and on.
I
But-
got 2 solid ones there.
I think that somebody said to me, well, you know, you have been talking a lot more about politics. No, I've been doing that for years. It's just one playlist.
Jeez, are you kidding me?
That was like a very like Canadian no.
Well, I don't-
that?
I live not that far.
No.
I wish they would take me in. I want
Sandy.
New Yorkers,
No.
Michiganders, anybody on a northern border state. If you live
Yeah.
near the border, there's definitely you get a
You're picking
little
something.
Yeah. You get the little don't you knows the
The little
of-
A? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping
I,
Vegematic would come in the audience from London, Ontario. He talks.
I always
he
think
can't-
of how like some people are like, look at this warning YouTube gave me. This is dumb.
gardening.
Look at this strike they gave me. Like, but like the word strike implies there'll be 3. Right? I mean, maybe
Yeah,
not.
right.
That's true.
But like a lot
True.
of times they say they have some cases where they reach out to a content creator and they go, or channel owner, however you want to phrase it, and they say, hey, here's our process. You have a chance to take this video down. This is what happened.
Oh,
Oh, this was monetized and now it's not. You can clip it if you want. And
No, there's
they have
no
all these
customer
ways,
service.
but then they also have a way where they just, it's gone. And you're like, what the fuck happened? And then there's like some vague email, and then there's no way to get in touch with them unless you rail on Twitter of all
It's- yep,
places.
it's
Like,
Well, that
how
and the
there's
cus-
no
the-
business
the
to make a
creator
business
chat.
model out of here. It's
It's
so
a maze because it's like
creator
credit card
chat,
companies and
too.
health insurance companies, they don't want you to be able to do it. So like they make a very barely functioning thing just to say, yep, we've got
Really
a
weird.
system, and then they go from there.
Well, it's
and I'm not on
functioning
Twitter.
now.
So if it happened to me, what would I do?
You're
Join
fucked.
Twitter?
Yeah, go back on with
You
some
are
stupid burner
mean-
account just to
fuckered.
do this.
You're gonna have to buy
Hey,
a
I
blue
think my
check
friend
to get people
Susan
to
may
see it.
have. I don't know. I didn't look at her.
Ah man, I didn't even realize that. They're
Listen.
colluding with Elon Musk. You have to buy a blue check in order to get unbanned.
I think I had more people retweet mine than Dusty did when he had his problem, and he's got a huge, a bunch of people that watch him.
Throwing
re-
Dusty under the bus there.
Consent- Dusty, yeah. When I think he had a problem, and everybody was on Twitter helping him. But I do think I got a few more than he did of retweets. But I don't know, 15. I mean, this is not like a mass channel thing. It's I'm
We
a-
need
dropping the goddamn bucket on the ocean like this. I'm more.
no, it's a big
less
deal.
than-
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
The size of your channel doesn't mean shit, especially when you've been on as long as you have.
Okay,
This
it's a big deal for defamation for
why would
Tony,
it be
Jen, Nick, all the
Yeah,
people on
but
my
why-
channel under a child policy, a child
Absolutely.
endangerment policy. That's for them. It's not about me really anymore. It
And-
is
But
about
hold on.
my
it's about all
team.
Look
It's
at
a big
Sandy
deal
dying on the
in
cross
terms of-
over here. It's not about me.
Why would it be
no.
a bigger deal for somebody with 1 million subscribers? Why would it be a bigger
not.
deal? Because they
It's-
could have
it's-
bought
it's-
those. I
it's
mean,
not. Yeah, I saw
Well,
those.
money
It's
is
not.
the answer to that. But I
but YouTube isn't doing it because, like, they're not. There's no
Sticking-
bias into how they go after somebody.
My
No,
point being, and
AI.
thank
I
you,
wanna look
Sandy,
up this.
in advance.
Oh.
You're fighting this fight because you have to, but it doesn't change the fact that all the people on this screen right now are going to
I'm fighting
benefit
for you.
from you fighting and winning.
Yeah, goddamn
exactly.
right. It is not about me.
We
It's
need our own William Kunstler. Do you know who that is?
Yes,
the guy,
I don't
the
like him
American
anymore.
lawyer
Oh,
for.
oh,
Okay,
that guy.
I'm not saying I don't know who you're talking about. This is the
Yeah,
lawyer
this is
for
a
the
different
Chicago
guy.
7, and he was
Yeah.
always like going to bat for activists and stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Maybe he got canceled and I just didn't hear about it because I think he died
No.
in the 90s. But we need I love that.
Yeah,
That's
you're
real.
right about
You can love somebody's legacy up until what they died in 1996 or whatever, and then realize in 2025 that you shouldn't have. Like that's a
Right.
real
Yeah.
thing. Thank
This
you,
is what
internet.
I wanted to talk
But-
about canceling last time I was on.
Right. But
That's
like
important, but continue.
we need a lawyer or like
Uh-oh.
our own entity like the ACLU that will be like, who got banned? No. And like they have YouTube on speed dial. You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't we make this happen? Why couldn't we have this? Why couldn't we make it more public? Why couldn't there be the lawyer who goes on all the cable shows on CNN, everything, and is like, no, YouTube has the answer for this. They can't do this. And that's what my law firm does. Like, why not that? Why can't we have that? Why are we being left out in the cold?
This is
Why
where
are
we
content
segue into our
creators-
space advertisement?
Content creating is more vital every day, more important and more copied
Yeah,
every
but
day. But
someone's got to
content
struggle to
creators are
flop down people's throats.
Well,
I'm just
exactly
saying.
what you bring up. She's not wrong about it being a great way to talk about this space because I can answer your question, which was rhetorical, but it has an answer. The answer is there is not the organization in place to hire the lawyer. And you would, because each one of these content creators is not going to be able to spare any money to pay for a lawyer, it has to be an organization which is built.
Dare I
to
say a
support
union?
Yeah.
a
Dare
group,
you
a
say?
group of
That's
people that
exciting.
will at some point inevitably require these services, but cannot afford to have somebody on call all the time. Bada
Right.
boom.
Right.
I
Like-
can foresee a future where this is a thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
Well,
here's the
yeah.
question I would ask you guys. Should there be a YouTube specific, like, should there be a social media channel union per channel, or should there simply be a content creators union?
I think that sounds wonderful. A
Well,
content
am I
As long
in
as
the
they don't call
union?
me a content creator.
Are we all in the same union as, I don't know, Steven Crowder?
teams- we
Andrew
could be a
Tate?
team-
Like,
Yes.
who's allowed? Yeah, I guess.
No,
so.
Teamsters
Fuck
for
them.
creators. Well, listen. I understand the Teamsters Union. That's why I'm using it as a reference, and they also, the Teamsters do represent makeup artists and things like that in Hollywood. I mean, it's all different branches, but I mean, it could be a new kind of union for our genre. And, you'd have to get
Yeah,
some
people have tried to
excitement.
make a YouTubers union for a long time.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was
know.
Hey-
I've never been involved. I've never been involved in
Slightly
any of
off
that.
topic. Did you hear about that? There was a lawyer
Yeah,
in the
Kat.
I forget what state or city it was. It was in the news like over the weekend. The fuck? He was suing a funeral home or a funeral company or something like this. Did you hear? I think they're making a series out of it.
Sounds good.
Anyway, it
Fuck
was
the
an open and
funeral
shut
homes.
case.
That's good.
What color should
Open
I
and
make
shut.
that?
That's nice.
Open
Very good.
and shut.
That was good. No, I acknowledge it was good.
Do you know
I'm
what kind
playing
of
with colors behind me.
do you know what kind of underwear lawyers wear?
No.
Briefs.
Mm. Now that you
Beneath-
say it, it does make sense.
beneath their lawsuits.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Hi, Jean.
It's pretty good.
Jean
It's
said
pretty
Jean's in
good.
the chat. I've been waiting to see her. All right.
What do you got in there? Is that an alcoholic beverage inside of a unassuming bottle?
Lipton Diet Iced Tea.
And that's what came in that bottle? You're drinking it right now?
Yeah, now it is opium.
Oh,
And I am drinking
Excellent.
half cap, high antioxidant, low acid coffee.
Ooh,
And
the
it is-
low acid.
And it is decaffeinated
good.
the natural way with no horrible
horse shit?
chemicals. No chemicals like that.
And the way they do
Hi,
it
Elaine.
is
I'm
they
drinking.
Everybody's
make
going.
the coffee sit down and watch an episode of Downton Abbey. That wasn't a very that was not a timely joke. I withdraw it. Can I submit that
Nope.
joke to 2015? Oh shit. All
You
right.
can't?
To
Can't do it?
2015. Yeah. Shit, that's funny. Can I submit that to 2015? Knocking 2015 is knocking. God damn, that's 10 years ago already.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Shit, I was having fun. It was all before I started this. 2015.
And now none of us are having fun. Look at us.
No,
Jake
life
Brown.
took a shit.
2015.
Letterhack's
sucked.
wearing a tracksuit at fucking 10:20 p.m. Sandy's banned for child endangerment. And then I'm
Letterhack
here with all these
look-
people. You know, like we
looks
are
like-
not having
Pathetic.
fun.
Let me see if they wrote me
Letterhack looks
back.
like somebody's about to hire him to hack into
Wait,
a European
security
bank vault.
alert. Oh no, that was StreamYard. Damn it.
How many guards do they have?
It's going to be irrelevant. You're not going to get caught.
How many exits?
2.
I gotta buy my alibi a couple weeks in advance. There's there's too many. Okay, last question, Sandy. Unless you talk
Oh,
about
this is
as
the
much as
Sandy
you want.
interview still? Okay.
Talk about this. Yeah, Kowalski from Nebraska comes on last week, out of nowhere for like the last.
I know. I thought it
and
was great when
I was
saw it
trying
the
to
next
wrap it up
day.
because I was so exhausted, but like we went for a whole another hour, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna interview Kowalski.
See, that was a benefit. Like when you start pretending like you want to go soon, like, and I just do something to push through. This time it actually worked out. We got a good show out of it.
He's like, have Kowalski on. He's like, send me a link, and I was like, okay.
I
So
You
sometimes love
didn't
that, and I
think you'd
often hate
join.
it.
You didn't think you would, you fucking bastard.
it was
You
cool.
piece of shit.
I knew I was gonna enjoy. But Sandy, let me ask you this, because
Yes, but Matt,
it's stressful as hell. What you're going through, and I just want to know, like, what are you like? Do you have any tricks? I know, substances aside, do you have any tricks for coping with your stress and anxiety over this
yeah,
and the
keeping a
sudden loss
positive
of all your work?
attitude that I'm going to
Yeah,
win.
how do you do that? You can't just
How?
say stay positive.
Okay, I must have some kind of weird denial mechanism built in. Although I have been screwed so many times over in life before that I shouldn't have any expectations. But I think it's because this is so egregious and so wrong and so stupid. And they screwed up with their first communication to me saying sexualization of minors when there's absolutely not one shred on that channel of any of that. So they screwed up. They should never have sent me that letter that said that, because I will work with my lawyer on that one, because if I don't get my channel back by Friday, because that's a lie. And
Friday's in 48 hours, people. Not even. It's in
there's
28 hours.
Right. But my
Holy
other
shit.
friend, Sam, who has 2 channels, he says he thinks they'll just give it back to me after what I've done, these appeals and all that. And then humans look at it and say, well, she is an old lady. I mean, I'm not putting myself down, but I'm playing the old lady card. I even said I was a grandma. I'm a step grandma. But
You're the oldest lady I know, I'll tell you that much.
Probably I am the oldest y'all know. But that's these experience. Yes, but you understand how that gives me this experience in life that I think is actually invaluable, but I don't walk around going, well, I know everything. No,
I
I've
think
just
it's actually
lived through
pretty
a lot.
valuable.
I've
Yeah.
lived through a lot, and not good stuff either. But and that's another thing somebody said about my channel. You share all these people that come on to help people deal with grief and anxiety. I've brought Dr. Carolyn Baker, psychologist, on zillions of times. I mean, we support people. We do a lot of good work on that channel. It's not just me, it's everybody.
They're all fucked.
You
No, I don't want their reputations to be marred because of whatever stupid video I might have made. I make doomy videos. It's like I was thinking,
I love the Doom
okay,
ones.
but
Those are the best
let's be
videos.
serious. There's some really shady content out there that
it's not my channel.
nobody gives
Oh,
a fuck
yeah?
about. It's racist, it's bigoted, nobody cares. It's homophobic.
I would argue
it's
anyone who puts
anti-trans.
children in videos on a frequent basis, that's child endangerment,
I don't
Like
even
children
know.
should not
I-
be on like people that film their 5-year-olds on every show.
I
that
feel
they do.
weird
Fuck
when
that,
a
man.
blue
Fuck that.
sky profile pic is somebody's kids, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
fuck
dude,
that. I
but
don't
then
keep your kids off the internet,
I
man.
also made the case to YouTube. I said, how come there are so many? I said, I did a search. I said, geez, you could see 100 million videos of people shooting AR-15s all over the goddamn place. And I'm a threat.
So you said that
I gotta ban them. Gotta go back
So-
to AR-14.
So
better.
you're being sort of like you switched gears in 24 hours time and went from you decided that you weren't going to be a victim and that you were going to take an activist role in
Yep.
this and that you were going to start pushing back in terms
Yep.
of fighting the good fight. So
for
did that
everyone.
help you like persevere and like get
Yes.
out of, because anyone
I
rightfully
have
so
not
would be
cried.
all depressed and gloomy and
I
everything, and you
haven't
just
cried once because I'm turning this into
Good on
an
you.
action item in life for others, not for me
Maybe you should
anymore.
cry once.
It's for well, I haven't felt like it yet. If they fuck me
Yeah.
over really royally, maybe then I'll
Maybe just
cry.
cry a
But
little bit.
yeah, I'll cry a little bit. But right now, I've also got
You
15
don't have enough
other
time,
things in my life going on. It's not YouTube and Google is not my entire life, guys. I mean, I love you all, but I have a life and there's other things happening too. So this is just another pain in the ass. But the bigger picture is now it has become for others. Because if I have to be the first one in our community that's gotten shocked, well, what better person to deal with it, I guess? Me.
I agree. I wouldn't want to deal with it. I know Matt would probably fucking jump out the window if he had to deal with this shit.
Oh, but he does his channel. It would be a bigger fluke. I mean, it would be a horrible fluke if that happened to Matt. He's got a great. I mean,
He wouldn't last a week without
Would-
YouTube. Matt's addicted.
what? No,
I'm
would.
addicted.
I'd walk away. I'd go get a part-time job bagging groceries.
No,
I'm
you
ready.
wouldn't.
Yeah,
Well,
nah,
you
I
know,
would.
I'm thinking, geez,
We
I
should all
hate to
quit and go
think
live
I
in the
have
woods
to-
anyway, man. Fuck this.
I
Fuck it
live
all.
in
you
the
can't
woods.
bag groceries in the woods. They don't have bags.
I'll
I
bag my own
literally
groceries.
thought about going to
That
get a
sounds
store
weird.
at a job at the dollar store, but I'd be wearing a back brace and a neck brace, standing there bitching about everything. Oh God, life is not easy for anyone. But I'm willing to do this, and let's see what happens. You know,
Yeah, I think it'll work out. I think we've made
using
big enough
my
stink so far.
I'm using my Buy Me a Coffee to communicate to everybody because a lot of people came over there, which I want to thank you people for being so wonderful. And people made donations, which really does help because I have 6 cats that all need deworming medicine. All right. Anyway, that's not for that, but it's just great. And I can communicate with, there's 209 people on my mailing list. So that's kind of cool, you know? I mean,
That's
I'm
a huge thing. Yeah.
and I'm not looking to be a million people. I don't even give a shit if what plaque am I going to get behind me with the YouTube thing on it?
Fuck all that materialism
Right,
garbage. You know
right.
that
You know, it'd
shit's
be-
fake metal, by the way. It's not even gold. It's not even silver. it's
Bullshit.
just
I want the
fucking-
black.
You want
It's
the
horrible.
You know what would be really funny?
Yes.
If they were
Jake's
like,
over here wanting the plaque. How
The
about you
first-
fucking eat
I
some
have
ice
a
cream or
plaque.
something?
I
I'll
have
get you
lots of
some plaque.
plaques.
the first case I would make would be, I have over 1,000 moderators. What are
Ooh.
you
They're gonna be
worried
out of a
about my
job.
channel doing? Like
Shout out to Rich P, by the way. Is he in here? Has he come back? Is his last name?
1K.
Rich.
1K.
1K.
It's 1,000.
Oh,
And so
we're
you
at
do 1K?
120, 1,020 at this point.
So then 1,000 was not an arbitrary limit. So it's the sky's the limit.
10,000. We
then.
got to
Yeah.
keep going.
Very cool.
9,999.
Because we hit 1,005 that night. And I think we might be at 1,017 right now, something like that. Pretty wild, right? I applied for the world record, which I think is only European. I don't know, it's weird. But they got back to me and they said, "This is very interesting. Tell us more." And I was like, "I told you everything. I'm just going to repeat it." But then I went to apply for Guinness World Record, and apparently you can only challenge existing ones.
They're not accepting new records anymore?
I was like, where's the new one? So I emailed him and said, "What if I want to suggest a new one?" But the European one was like, "Hey, if you're ready to set a record, tell us the date, the event, and how much money you're going to need." And I was like, "How much money I'm going to need?" And I was like, "I don't need any money." And they're like, "No, you have to pick at least 1,000." And I was
1,000.
like,
1,000.
okay, 1,000.
There's
But then I said, this requires no money, and the record is being set anew every day. Like, let's potentially, right? So like,
I
just
just
give me
love the idea that
record.
Matt's out there sending the European record agency like, "Hey guys, I
He's
got
a hustler,
1,000
baby.
YouTube mods, man. You
YouTube's
wanna?"
international.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
That's great
That's
advertisement.
fine,
Don't
man.
listen to this, Matt.
It's
That
not
is
the
fan-
American internet, right? It's
You're
the
a hustler,
World
baby.
Wide Web.
It's
Wait,
the
I have a
European
request.
record agency wants to hear about your YouTube mods.
I have a very
Fucking-
important request. Can you unmoderate one person?
Yes.
Ernie's Cabin.
Who's Ernie's Cabin?
He's my guy. He's in Canada. He lives. Oh, he does the most beautiful videos of where he lives. He's so wonderful.
Unmod piece of
why
shit
unmod?
cocksucker
Maybe
motherfucker.
he's
'Cause I fucking hate
uncomfortable
him.
with the rent.
I fucking hate him. That's why unmod him.
Wait, why?
Don't worry, I'm on your
No.
side, buddy.
Ernie, are you uncomfortable with the wrench?
I think that was a
Unmod this
joke.
piece of shit cocksucker.
Oh, it's a
we
joke.
don't need him. Here.
Okay. Oh,
It's not a
stop
joke.
it. You don't know.
We've
Ernie.
already established
Oh my God!
good and
yes.
early
He lives
that it is okay to be
beautifully.
unmodded. I believe, got unmodded because I requested it.
In fact,
Jake,
while we're
wanna
at
be
it,
able-
unmod me. I don't want to be
Jake,
one of
you're a
these
managing
cops.
mod. You
Andrea,
can
I don't
mod
want to
the
be
mod.
walking around with a gun, with
Ernie,
a wrench. I
Andrea,
don't want to be
Ernie is one of the
unmoderate me.
really
Unmoderate all
beautiful
of my
people.
channels that you have moderated.
wants
I don't
to
want to.
be
This is uncomfortable
unmoderated.
to me. You know, I don't want to be one of these people that just accepts, hey, have a badge, hey, have a gun, just shoot anyone you want. I don't want to be that person. Hell no. I'll be the one getting shot.
It's a YouTube moderator.
stand
No
up
one
for
has
what's
guns.
right.
What are you talking
what's
about? It's
fucking right.
YouTube.
I don't want
it's
this.
the chat.
It's
Did I not
like
have the
fucking
gun?
having kids play cowboys and Indians.
we
You know,
need
it
to
teaches
take
them
some
violence.
breaths.
It
Come
teaches
on,
them to
guys.
hate people of a different concept. You know, like we can't be doing
Andrea,
this kind of stuff.
Andrea.
That's so.
And we got leaderboards. We got fucking
weird and
leaderboards on YouTube
off-base.
now. There is no fucking
So
leaderboard.
weird.
No one's
That's
number one.
Your other thing.
There is no number one.
Right now, all it was poor Ernie from his beautiful cabin in Canada, just not wanting to be blue. That's all it
Anyway.
is.
It's pretty boring. Here's the thing. It is a way to hack what they. I don't know why they allow this, but they do. So we're doing it, and nobody else does it. And
Don't let us
It's
bust
unique.
your chops. It's a good system. It is a good system that works.
Yeah.
So I was very not publicly, but very upfront to you about being a Debbie Downer about it. But I have since eaten my words many times. The system does work.
look, Ernie's like, unmoderate me. You're unmoderated, Ernie. Okay.
Am I unmoderated? Did you unmoderate
Thanks
me?
for playing.
Did you unmoderate me?
He's come on.
Do it.
Sometimes people just
I'm on Ernie's team. I'm going to the cabin.
Marianne
this.
Holt, thanks
We're
for
getting
the
out of this right now.
$4.99
Beautiful.
super.
it's beautiful.
Sticker,
And the
appreciate it.
I heard great things.
wildlife up there. Oh my God.
Decipher,
yeah.
I thought there are only ones and zeros. 11100101110.
Oh, I understand.
Decipher.
Decipher, you're actually it's different for you. You're a computer program that I invented in a fit of drunken madness. So any memories you have of life.
Did you
Sorry.
see Orb Rumors comment? You have to, Matt.
Fucking
It's
A.
We should record a song with 1,000 mod vocal tracks. We are the mods. Everybody sing it.
Like
and
we are the
record
world.
it. Yeah, we are the mods. And let
Send
her
that to the
came up with
European
it.
Record Agency.
But
Yeah.
make it like mod, like 60s mod. Let's have fun with this. Come on now.
We
Wait,
are
no,
the-
that's we are this is we're
the
rehashing.
mod
That's what I'm gonna do
squad.
with my comments now. From now on, my mods are proper mods.
The mod squad.
Yeah.
Well, I just
Short-
think it's
short-
weird that,
Brilliant.
Go-go boots.
like, I didn't realize the Guinness Book of World Record would
tight suits.
get to a point where they don't take. Like,
That's
this has nothing to do with me. It's just like, why
No,
you can't? There are no more new records. Like,
But
did they
let's
get to a
just-
point where they were like, guys,
Let's keep in mind though
they've all been
that
set.
Matt did
Not this
email the
one.
Guinness Book of World Records to tell him about how many YouTube mods he has. Let's just
Yeah.
make
I
sure
didn't.
that part of the story
I
is
didn't know.
understood.
Yeah,
I
but it's
didn't.
They
I
are
emailed them and
cute.
said,
Being-
I said, is there a way to apply for a new world record, or can you only challenge existing ones? Because that's
Ah.
what I'm seeing on your site. So that's when I emailed them. I
Mm.
didn't say, oh, and by the way,
I
the
got
record
1,000
that
YouTube mods.
I'm pretty sure I've said is, I'm
Well,
not
wait,
trying to put it out there until it's an official application, is my point.
Wait till they employ AI, then they'll do it. Because they won't have to pay a person.
They are being so short-sighted. Think about this. World's longest stream,
The sound of
setting a
Yeah.
record in this modern era for
Oh,
like
like
longest stream.
that was
And
the
Guinness-
climate and weather people last week, 100 hours.
But
100
imagine
straight hours.
Guinness getting in on that, and it's like a big thing. Will they make
Yeah.
it? Will they break it? They're restreaming at the same time.
I once did a
They make-
35-hour live stream, man. Can't do
Guinness
that
is-
anymore.
Guinness is the sort of thing that's
35?
made for the internet.
All by
age. The
myself,
only thing
not
they
just
have
with
to
anyone
do
else. either.
Is not say there's no more records to be set. Idiots.
Yeah, Guinness is a bunch of fuckers. Also,
35
Matt's
hours.
gone, so let's totally tank the stream.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, shit, fuck,
Kitty.
cocksuck,
Big old
motherfuck.
titties flopping
All
around.
you have to say is environmental coffee house. It'll trigger YouTube alarms all over the internet.
I've been censored. My
You
free
know-
speech. My free speech.
And I was almost after 8 years to 5,000. Where is she? She's
Oh.
coming back.
I'm so sorry.
She'll come
You were
back.
gonna, but first of all, you in your first many years,
Where's Andrea?
the man got her.
Oh,
That was 5,000
Yes,
after
she
8
is.
years, but that 5,000
Yes,
most of them
she
came.
This
in
is
the
a
last-
letter hack controlled show. I did not leave. I was
Yeah,
I
really,
was
where
put
are you, Looney?
backstage against my will. This is a hostage situation. Now I'm on the bottom left of your screen, which is not acceptable by any metric whatsoever.
I think
Oh.
this
How do
filthy
you
son of you.
swoop it around? So swoop
Cancel.
it around. Swoop it, baby. Dr. Jordan Peterson. Oh, hello. I know what that's like. Yep. Jordan's in the audience.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Jordan Peterson. Oh boy. I think when I come back, I should come back and do it. Ivana from the grave, but this time
Are-
come with the dirt on.
are you gonna be
Oh my
like all pins and needles on? Oh, I don't want to say this on a thumbnail. Are you gonna be all?
No,
stressed
I'm
about
going to go
that or
right
what?
back to who I am. If they
Hell
give me
yeah.
my channel back, the only thing is I will be a little bit more cognizant of the nuancy things that may have, done. I don't know. I mean,
I don't
look at
think you should
YouTube
adjust. And
YouTube is my closet. YouTube is my safe room. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I really like the channel, It's like I put a lot of videos in different playlists. I never knew it was controversial because
What's the
how
closet
many
analogy?
people- well, just because it's cozy, you can crawl up to the corner and you got your YouTube.
In the closet?
If you have a big enough closet.
Do people
What
seek
the fuck?
shelter in closets? And
Yeah, during tornadoes. Well,
that's-
bathrooms.
Well,
I've
yeah,
been
when I'm
watching
depressed,
those.
what I do is I lock
Yeah.
myself in the closet and I die from
No.
CO2 exposure. Jake's dying from CO2 exposure right now, I think. Just
Yeah.
judging by what are you about to vomit? What's
Talking about that, I'm going to test
you
my
okay?
house for all kinds
What
of.
was
I think
that?
so.
Okay. That's good.
It started as a genuine belch, and then just became old
Turned
man
into a little
cheek.
It turned into a
Yeah.
cheek. What is it called? The nuts in the
the what?
Look,
squirrel
at
thing?
any given, I'm at a weight where at any given point I'm in danger of becoming a harp seal. I've got to actively fight it.
Look, I really need to go do something real quick. Please don't just start swearing nonstop.
No, yeah,
No,
no,
we're
no.
not.
Okay, please.
Oh,
Just
we're
for
not.
like 5
So-
fucking minutes. Thank
We're
you.
not. Oh, 5 fucking minutes, but don't
You
swear
can
when I
swear
talk.
naturally, like organically, but not like
Wait,
No,
wait,
we're
wait,
not
wait,
going
wait,
to-
wait,
crazy
wait,
person
wait, wait,
who
wait,
just-
wait, 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 wait.
We're not. You know why?
our-
While he's gone, we're going to interact. We're going to interact with the chat while Matt's gone, and we can.
Let me
take
pull up a
turns.
picture of a seal.
Once again, I would love to remind you all that this is a letterhead culture.
Donald James. Matt has the poops. Okay. Monope. Hi, Snicks.
which are called the Jakes when
I-
you're
the
doing a
Jakes.
live stream.
The Jakes, is that
Jakes.
real?
The
I'm
Jay.
still sitting here. I just need to be off camera for a second. I
Oh,
don't
we
have
thought
the
you were running
the shit.
away. Well, of course not. That was just an audience
He's got to pick his
participation
nose. That's what's
quote.
happening. I pick my nose too sometimes, but it's a big problem. You
What
don't want to
is
pick
that
your nose because it
background?
can lead to
I
you
didn't pick that.
cut yourself up.
I didn't pick that.
Why is Reggie Rock at the computer?
I don't know what that is. I'd have
That's
to
fucked up.
change the setting for what? Not
My
virtual
cord was
background. Not virtual.
I have a
because I don't
TV
wanna
right
be
here
a
now.
vir-
I'm repurposed as a second monitor, and my fucking computer was about to die.
Oh, not cool.
I
You
had
don't
the
want that
cord
to
wrapped around it somehow.
Oof.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm not going to do that now. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's just funny how everyone's like right away.
anal.
No, just like
Right
the
away?
filthiest of
Funny.
immature. I'm just reading the chat the whole
Jumping right
time, and
into
it's
it,
like,
alright.
geez, okay.
Because we foster an environment for your inner child
you
to
for
be
getting that.
channeled out.
You gotta channel it out.
We're channeling it. Yeah. I mean, I'm accused of it, but I'm channeling it.
I'm channeling it in personally. I'm trying
channeling
to
it
get as
in
much. Everyone's
inward?
channeling it out. I'm taking what they're channeling out. I'm putting it back in.
Take the energy. It's positive energy.
It's energy, all right.
Yes, it's very good. Yeah. We have good energy between the four of us, actually, I think.
It's all
Look,
right.
we
It's
know, Nadia,
cool.
we know that you are super chatting over our heads in spirit.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Relentlessly giving me words I can't pronounce,
Yeah.
Nadia,
referencing things that are way smarter than me.
In Switzerland
I
right
have
now.
I have homework for our girl here. Why? Why can't you super chat in Switzerland? What?
It's
Let me put it like
probably
this.
it's a
What does a
money-
country which generally is run better than the country I'm in have against YouTube doing the super chats? And
Oh.
is there something to be learned from it?
Maybe they
They
just
might have
don't
something. They
want
might have
to
something.
convert the currency.
Could
Maybe
be
it's
as simple as
Maybe
that.
they have banking laws that, or who knows? Maybe
I
Nadia will look
happen-
it up and she'll tell us.
I hope she does. That's I'm
Yeah.
asking her to do it, and understand you don't actually have any obligation. We're here to entertain you. But
Yeah, that is interesting. Bank.
I do.
I'm not.
I famously, or not famous, but I happen to think YouTube has a very a good deal with its super chats. I don't think it's the best that could be, but yeah, they're upfront. They're like, we take 30%. And that's that.
But they
there might
send
be
you a
something more.
tax form or
God,
buy
that's
me a coffee
insane,
dozen.
though. They take
It's too
30%.
much.
That's
It
such
is
a
too much.
high motherfucking goddamn cocksucking number.
What do
Holy
you
shit,
think
that number sucks cock?
would be an appropriate amount?
God,
I'm
Andrew.
curious. I think 1%. Nah, let's be crazy.
Well,
5%.
they've got to
I'd be
pay
fine.
people. No,
0.01%.
I'd say 20.
Really?
What's a good tip when you go get your nails done or you go to a restaurant? 20%. That's usually what people tip, right?
But the
20%?
restaurant is paying for a lot of things that YouTube is not.
No, YouTube is actually taking liberties with me right now. Jeez.
I get contributions and donations via Venmo and Cash App, and it's like
Yeah.
with a note that says this, so you get 100%.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
and that's-
PayPal that way?
People,
Is PayPal that way?
I don't use PayPal.
PayPal takes like 2 or 3 or something.
That's lovely. I just
if-
mean to
I
say
don't
that
have one of those QR codes, and everybody says don't use them. It gets all this info. I don't know what they say.
They've
I
got
don't-
your information. Let's be
Just-
serious.
I know. I
Like,
haven't looked into this. It was just brand new that was introduced.
what are you
to
saying
me.
about super
I don't
chats,
know.
Jake? That
Yes.
nothing other than to say it's a private company, and it's got to have some way to pay for its things. I'm not
Right.
defending YouTube. I'm simply saying that of the private companies that are out there,
There we go. Jake defending
associated with.
corporations.
When I
again.
have money,
The
I
guy
will
most
wearing
give
a
right wing,
suit
super
most
chat.
capital.
defending
capitalist.
corporations from Suitman over here. Suitman Jake.
But
We got Suitman Jake.
they're owned by Google, right?
Yeah.
So
of
not
the
happy
private
with-
corporations that I am forced to do business with, I actually like YouTube's deal, for example, better than Twitch.
Oh
But-
yeah, YouTube is definitely one of the best ones.
I want to hear from somebody who's living in a country where they have a whole reasoning for something laid out. I want to hear what that is, because I'd like to hear a non-American perspective on it.
Well, I think that if I were back in Switzerland, I used to go there often for work. If I were back there, I wouldn't be online. I wouldn't be looking at YouTube. I'd be in Switzerland. It's that good. There are herds of cows and they all wear cowbells.
Yep.
And
their
it's like when you first
glaciers
hear
just
it, you're like,
collapsed.
what the fuck is that? Oh, okay. Sorry, Sandy. You want to ruin
No,
my
I'm ruining it.
memories?
Sorry.
Go ahead. No,
No.
yeah. It's all over now, folks.
Yeah, fuck you.
I
Leatherhack's
didn't mean
memories.
it. I didn't mean
Jesus
it. I'm
Christ.
sorry. I
We
ruined
in-
it.
And here,
Step-
like talking about like a very positive aspect that's not ruined yet, but let's
And
capitalize.
Sandy's like,
on
go
the
fuck
worst part.
yourself with those cows.
No,
Those
I
cows
want to
can all
hear
die.
I want to hear the beauty.
I like the idea
It's
of
still
incepting
beautiful.
Matt's memories. He's thinking
Yeah.
back to his honeymoon, but because of some psychological thing we did, we're all there in the background. I
I want to hear more about what the scenery was when you were there. The cows,
Does sound lovely.
where you were.
Could you just
And
see
I won't
mountains?
Blurt out
Can
anything
you
stupid.
just believe that people eat cows? How insane is that?
I couldn't.
Jake,
They're all over here.
Sandy, Letterhack.
I do maintain if I ever
No,
see
I don't eat cows.
if I see a cow get like blasted by a semi truck or something, I'm gonna
I'll
go to
eat
that
that cow.
carcass. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Just bring up a frying pan out of my
No, as long as it
basement.
was grass fed.
Like,
But
No, I mean if it meets its death accidentally, I'll be like, farmer, I've got a solution to a lot of your problems.
If it's
I'm gonna buy that beef.
yeah.
Sandy, did you see the private chat
no, I don't want you to be
from
mad.
Nadia Vet Chambers, member for 7 months? Thank you for
No.
the membership. If
Oh
it's
no.
if it's KOSA, it's real and is because trans people were on your channel. Also, trans people will be banned from internet access, e.g., email needed to do their jobs.
Very soon, probably.
I
That's
didn't
why
get
I'd
the
like to
impression-
announce everyone I am detransitioning just in time, just trying to get in there before the law happens.
Oh
No.
my God.
We don't need more dudes. We need more pretty gals. We're barely holding on as a society as it is. We need everybody to do their part. If you are already a pretty gal, stay that way, please. And we'll try like hell to deal with the rest of these
Aw.
dudes.
I just need to announce that, just in case I need to point to it later for
Okay,
legal
fair
reasons.
enough. And just to draw some of the heat, I am going to. Man, I've been out of the game too long. I can't think of something that's definitely going to piss off. I'll kiss a man right on the mouth. Take that, Republicans.
Damn. With that
Wow.
mustache?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it'd be super gay. It's not right with this mustache. It's like full on early '90s. Yeah.
You can do that, just don't make the Republicans okay with it, dude. That's the logic, right? It's like,
Well,
Dude.
yeah.
do whatever you
I'm
want.
trying to-
Just don't make me not be bigoted about it, okay?
Yeah.
Or homophobic. Like
Just make sure I don't feel those. Just make sure I don't think those thoughts. I'm always kind of thinking a little bit in the background. You got to make sure I don't think those thoughts that are definitely in my head all the time, and I haven't dealt with it appropriately. That's the only thing.
Everyone
I care
thinks
about
about
as a
it.
Republican.
Everyone thinks about it. Yeah, wouldn't it be great sucking some dick right about now? We've all had that thought. We've all thought about it.
I
think
mean,
about
there's
it all
a
the
difference between thinking about it a couple of times
time. A day,
growing up
morning.
and the way Republicans think about it, which is just all the time,
That's true.
constantly.
That's true. They love thinking about it. They never do it though. They're a little well, some of them do it. Some
Yeah,
once in a while.
but most of the time they
70%.
just feel bad for thinking about it.
Yeah, most of the time. But some of the times,
Some of the times they sexually assault their assistants who are supposed to drive them around to CPAC stuff.
hey, when that
It's a
happens,
Matt Schlapp joke.
Slapping it up.
That fucking guy. These
Slap.
guys.
And he got away with it.
What do you call it when somebody preserves their character? What is it called? It's is it rehabilitation? What's it called
think,
when
yeah.
you when you do like damage control and then you come out of it? What's that term?
I think that is rehabilitation. Like, I understand there's another meaning for rehabilitation, but they're using that meaning in
Yeah, it's like character
talk to me.
rehabilitation or something.
yeah.
But like that guy, whoa. And it was his accuser was like, yeah, no, that's not a thing. I wasn't being serious because they paid him.
Yeah.
Like, and it was all out in the open. It was like very open that they paid him to say I was lying. And it's like, no, you took money for it.
Wow.
And then people are just like, no, and let it go.
Yeah,
It's wild.
no big
Just
deal.
leave.
All right, last picture I'll attempt to share for a while. Let me put this up for your consideration. Speaking of, this is how I'm dressed today. And don't commit to putting it up necessarily. Only put it up if you agree with the assessment. You're welcome to not agree with the assessment.
It's accurate. It's accurate. I nominate. We put it up.
Okay.
Pull it up, Matt.
What? Okay, but what's the context?
Just how I'm dressed today. I just
Yeah.
Also, those two frogs are gay. It turns out they are the actual gay frogs.
Frog
That's
and-
Look it up.
wonderful.
It's true.
Look, that's great.
They are whose frogs?
The Wind in the Willows? Is that
Yeah.
what it is?
What are they called?
Frog and Toad or something?
I think.
right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Were they starring on the Alex Jones show?
Oh, good. Yeah, right. What's that frog called?
Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't.
No,
even
what
remember.
is that frog? What is he?
It's cute. I like the
I
big-
What's
just remember
the
they're-
right wing frog. What is it? I can't remember shit.
Oh no, it's not actually right wing, but right wingers stole for a
Yeah.
time, but it's been taken back. Pepe,
That's it.
Pepe.
Not to be confused with the king prawn. Okay.
I didn't catch that one. That pop culture reference flew right by me. I'm so sorry.
Muppets.
Ah,
Outer space.
is Kermit
right?
not their god king?
Well, those guys probably love Kermit.
Yeah,
All right,
nobody
fair
fucks
enough.
with Kermit.
Yeah.
Kermit is untouchable. Like of
Kermit.
all the Muppets that need
I
their
wanted to
very
do an
own
impression, too.
thing, how come they just never let Kermit go off on his own thing? He's
he
always
would
like the
never do it.
main guy, but
He
like
would never. He always has to take his boys with him and girls.
Because that'd be
It's
like
a whole
not-
team or nothing.
He's not
A
a
union.
loner. He's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a union.
that would be like
Yeah.
if Beyonce, or that would be like when Beyonce left that band she started off in. The band can't survive without her. The Muppets, I feel like, sans Kermit, it's not happening.
There are no Muppets without Kermit, but there's also no
He's the
Muppets without
baseline.
Oh,
Fozzie
wait a
Bear.
minute.
There's no
Haven't they-
Muppets without Gonzo. They're all essential.
Big
You
Bird.
can't remove them.
Are they all privatized now?
But
I hope.
but they are essential
hands.
in different ways. You see, they all go in a crazy direction. Pick one, they have their expertise. But Kermit is the baseline. He's the straight man for all their jokes. So when you need
What about
someone,
Scooter?
you're right. Scooter's the Laurel. Yeah, he's the Laurel of the Laurel and Hardy group. That's right. No one else will get these references now.
Hmm.
Well, he's the. You're right. There's redundancy.
that's one of my all-time
Yeah.
fucking favorite pictures.
Now, how do you not smile?
It's one
I'm
of-
so
look at
glad they
Animal.
got Animal to be the lawyer. Yeah.
Goddamn Gonzo. He
Oh,
loves
it.
doing journalism.
Hell yes, baby.
Gonzo journalism.
Yeah.
This what I like about the Muppets is that they're all over the place, right? And you would
Every
you would
age.
think like, wow, no one is paying attention, no one's organized, and then they do like this banger musical number. and they're all choreographed and it's perfect, and they get somebody's going to do a little funny thing in the middle of it, and they know how to coordinate. But
Are
like,
you saying that you, Matt, are under the impression that the Muppets, the characters, the Muppets, are too
Very
incompetent
coordinated?
as people to accomplish?
no, I'm
music
just
number.
saying, like, it's madness until music number, and then they go back to madness, like, because it's a variety.
Yeah, well, they all
show.
got to get their shit together for the musical. That part's important.
Well,
I
it
really
gives
like
me,
the idea of Matt sitting around the set being like, this animal guy is totally unprofessional.
That's
I don't
the thing. It's
understand
like,
how
if
we're
he
going to get
couldn't-
rehearsal done.
If he couldn't play the drums, he wouldn't be there. Like, they all are so madcapped and harebrained and wild that it wouldn't work until they do a music number, and it's like, see, that's why we keep these guys
Yeah,
around.
that's exactly. They all have a talent. Like the
And
guy
then
who
when they-
throws the fishes, who's my favorite.
And then when they play roles, like in the Christmas Carol and stuff like that, when they play a role, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, they're vaudevillian, they're actors.
Born to the part.
They know how to do it, right? Like,
That's
of course,
great.
they have an appreciation for the classics like Dickens and stuff like that. But then the rest of the time, like, somebody, Henson or somebody, came up with the idea that the rest of the time they would just be like
Goofy.
real nutty, like to
Yeah.
the extreme.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Anyway.
They are Muppets.
It is true.
I think
That is
they
true.
were
Did that term exist
incredible.
before the 60s?
No.
Actually,
Not
were
it didn't
incredible.
exist before Muppets.
All right,
Well,
fair enough.
so it's also
And
UK
so
slang.
many generations have grown up with them.
Yep, and now like the big beautiful bill is coming after them. You know,
Oh, Matt, the big beautiful.
like we're gonna save so much money on
The
defunding
Muppets.
PBS
I
and
know.
NPR and you know, oh my god, it's just it makes me so mad.
It does. There's a lot of acronyms they want to defund these organizations. I don't know. I keep thinking everything was going along pretty nice, actually, as far as the workings, the inner workings, everything, the NOA, all these things were fine. There was
It could-
nothing broken. It could have
you
just
could
been
use-
fixed a bit, but not. It wasn't inherently the PBS. All these things are not broken. They just needed a little tightening, not a little.
Everything requires constant
Chainsaw.
improvement and
Yes.
maximum transparency. Without that, you can have people getting away with stuff or spending or being messy and inefficient, and you can also have people who can just say it's really bad, and it's like, well, I guess we'd have to take your word for it one way or another because we don't have that transparency. If there was maximum transparency,
Well, that's
they would
audit.
still be pulling this shit, but like
That's
there would
what
be
an audit
cases.
is.
Well, okay, and so
Yeah.
then I'm glad you brought that up. Let's look at like the Pentagon audit, right? Like that is, they blow that every time. They still get more and more and
Except
more
they
and
asked
more
for
money.
$7 billion, I think $6 or $7 billion more to be where they need to be.
So anyway, I think my point is the
Oh.
progressives, and like one time I read, this would have been like 2010 or something. I was
Yeah.
like, what's a progressive? And I looked it up, and they said the best way to know what a progressive is to compare to a liberal. They both want more government, but the progressive, like the liberal, just leaves it there. Whereas the progressive is like, want more government in terms of these programs that already like serve the people in this particular way, this specific way. Beyond that, it needs to be more transparent and more like
Yeah.
not just tweaks, but like improvement all the time. Like it needs to be as efficient
Quality
as
improvement.
possible, but also like the service needs to be as rewarding as possible. What the agency does needs to be as beneficial to the citizens as possible, not just they spend too much money. Well, what is the money? Hold on a second. You can't just say it's a money thing because the government's not there to turn a profit, really. They have to spend the money responsibly, but
efficient.
yeah, but
Right?
it's like just in, anyway,
No, you're right.
it's frustrating because I'm preaching to the choir and it's just everyone watching and all you guys,
We all
that,
agree,
like,
man. Hell yeah, brother. Right on.
it's just so silly that they're like, it's wasteful spending. And it's like, but you're wasteful. You're all wasteful fucking spending then. Period.
Damn.
I mean, it's
Whoa.
all a waste. Like, this is a
Whoa.
joke, right?
Golf.
Like, you're not
The
doing
VA.
anything to
Golf
Fund the
games
VA.
and military parades coming up. Golf
like if
games
you
and
drain the
military
swamp,
games.
what do you have? Really gross waterless swamp. Like, it's still pretty
Oh.
bad. Like, it's not
Good.
I
Doesn't
don't know,
make
it's so
doesn't
dumb.
make the problem any better.
It's
Just
like hard
changes the
for me to
problem.
articulate why it's so bad
Yeah.
because it's there's really no point in saying it out loud anymore. It's just so obvious. If you act like you don't get it, it's just bad faith or you're a troll. Oh, you know what I saw the other day? Somebody put a video online and said, "Here's all the people you're arguing with," and it was like a bunch of little servers with blinking lights. Like, it was just like a room of that. It's like, here's all the people you're arguing with online. And I was like, that is so true, man. It's all fake.
They're
It's not
all
even
Russian
real.
bots. They're all Russian
I
bots
saw
from
that
Soviet
video.
Russia, from
Yeah,
the Russian bots. They're all over. They're
I have
all over.
had
Can you
an
imagine having
epiphany.
that job sitting there with screens full of crap all over?
And you
Oh
just
my
argue
God.
about, fucking climate change and pronouns.
They are called
That's
the
a
Web Brigade
multitasking job.
in Russia. The person who has those jobs specifically,
The
and
what?
they are essentially working as a military unit, even though they are not a part of the military. The Web
Right.
Brigade.
Okay.
Did you
That's
know
why
that
we
like
have Donald Trump.
a solid job that you can get is just like buy the Twitter check mark and just be a conservative? Like that's an actual career in a lot of places. Like in India, it's a huge career option. Like, you could become a doctor, or you could just become a Twitter conservative and just say horse shit just to get Chat GPT to write all your lines and go viral, because they eat it up. They love the
Doesn't
slop.
it feel like all of conservative thought is just one giant operation designed to mine the future? Just drain the future of anything that could be good in it.
Yep. They're just a bunch of fucking cocksuckers.
On that note, I did have I think I had an epiphany. I'm not sure if it's true. I'd like to throw it by you guys, but
Okay.
broadly speaking, in terms of US politics, when you are looking at who is a progressive, who is a liberal, who is a conservative, who is MAGA, if you're looking at that scale, I think it comes down to a measure of your sincerity about wanting to change anything and your willingness to look at reality, to deal with reality. And if you have somebody who is both of those things, they're a progressive. It doesn't actually really reflect on the kind of politics they like anymore. It's just, are you sincerely trying to change things and make them better? Or rather, and are you willing to look at facts? If you are neither of those things, you are either a Democrat or a Republican. If you're just one of those things, and it doesn't matter which one, you're probably a Democrat. And if you are only sincerely trying to change things, but you are unwilling to look at facts, you're definitely MAGA. And I have yet to find a counterpoint to that. I have yet to find something that falls outside of that that
Well,
way
that's
of measure.
the thing, is we live in the super duper techno utopia where you can just, feed a direct IV drip of horseshit garbage to people, and they live in an alternate world.
You
Where
are
you
so
ask
right.
the average conservative how many percent trans people there are, and they think it's 30% of Americans are trans. Like it's 0.5. Like what are these fucking people talking about, man? Like they live in La La Land. We're all in fucking.
Weirdly,
It
there's
was
less
never
trans
this
people than intersex.
big issue until
I
these
know.
weirdos made it one.
Yeah, like what was RFK Jr. was up there. I forget where he was, but this was April. I think he was saying like 50% of people in China are diabetic. And it's like, there's no way that's true. That's insane. And he rambled off like all these statistics in like a 5-minute span. And it was all wildly inaccurate and just obviously not true. And it was almost like a test to see what he could get away with.
Yeah, we're focusing on the detail here, but I think missing the larger point. Because I agree. Like, none of that stuff you're saying is a surprise to me. But I think that the difference is a leftist, in theory, would care about whether or not they have the correct information. Like, if you told a leftist what you're saying is not based on facts that most people would agree with, then you would, like, the leftist, I feel, would be inclined to go find out, to get to the bottom of it, and adjust their opinion as necessary. And frankly, that's the only thing that, in terms of U.S. politics, that's really the only thing that then makes them a leftist. Because if you want to get into a room with people who are sincerely trying to change and sincerely looking at the facts, there's only one group doing that. Which is why you have people like Tim, whoever the hell, that used to be, he's on Pod Save America all the time now as a guest. McCain's former campaign manager. I'm dying that I can't remember him. But it's why you have people like that. Yes.
Tim Miller's from the Bulwark.
Yes. But you have him appearing
I like him.
I like him fine. I don't agree with his politics.
Tim Miller. I'm just happy he's celebrating Pride Week and he's all into it.
My point is that he winds up in progressive circles where he probably largely disagrees with their actual politics, but he winds like policies, I guess I should say. But he winds up there because it's the only place that'll have him for a conversation.
Although I think he's
I don't know what we do with that information, if it's even
Can't
true.
say I watch Pod Save America, but
no, I don't watch them. I picked up Tim Miller, and I think he's changed his attitude and talks more about progressive politics and things that he supports. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just new to that. I just
that guy is the Bulwark.
Yeah, but I mean, I like that he is doing the things he's doing for gay pride and
interviewing Karen Howe. I think that's how you pronounce it. H-A-O.
Okay.
She I'm reading her book now, Empire of AI. It's all about Sam Altman and how AI has gotten literally the beginning to how it got to here from these tech guys. And he asked her he was interviewing her, and he asked her, he goes, so what, like, is it, is it like a threat to the environment? Do you think I'm at the point now where if I make a funny AI image, I'm killing a tree? And I was like, is he asking this as if he's someone who doesn't get it, or does he not get it? Because how the fuck do you have this successful of a podcast and you're supposedly on the left and you don't get the environmental impact that these data centers are having, right? And that they're putting them in places that are already depleted of the resources needed, and that this is going to help the fossil fuel industry thrive. There's no way that like clean energy or anything like that, or what's the term I'm looking for? Solar, windmill. What's that sort of? I can't think of a damn thing tonight. Renewable energy is not going to fuel AI data centers.
No.
Only fossil fuels will do it, and it's going to use up all the water because those server rooms get very hot. They got to cool them off. And I was like, is he really asking her that? Like, because and this is the problem with like clips on Instagram. I'm not watching the whole podcast, so I don't know, but it sounded like he was asking it in terms of, no, I really want to know. And it's like, thank God you have like a leading expert and author here to make it clear for everyone. And thank you for clipping it. But like, who the fuck is Tim Miller except the guy that doesn't realize like some shit that you can find out about pretty easily?
A guy who lost a bunch of elections and primaries.
I don't know. I just started listening in the car when I could listen to the whole thing.
What do we do with this information? If this is true, if you really can say that person's going to be progressive or talking to progressives, what do we do? How do we change this into not having another 2024? Because there was no reason it was not in anybody's best interest to get Trump in there. What now?
It's what all the things that the Democratic Party did wrong is happening again worse.
Yeah, because they listened
It's
to the wrong
already
people.
happening. The
They're
Yeah, we're
strategists
pretty much
and
fucked as
assholes.
far
consultants.
as the old way of politics. We got to go to the old way of politics.
Look what
from this
happened
point.
in Colorado with Jared Polis voting against basically everything that he was supposed to
There is
support.
a new think
What
tank.
happened to him?
There's a think tank being called Searchlight, being formed by Democratic consultants and strategists. And the think tank's mission, as described by the people who are forming it, is an explicit rejection of purity test that's holding the party hostage. The most famous of which became fodder for a highly effective ad when Donald Trump went against the trans community. And so
they want to find excuses to abandon leftist causes. That is it.
But
That's
that
all the
wasn't
reason.
even like their cause. That wasn't what the Democratic Party was fighting for. It was just an ad saying they were when
Sure.
they really weren't. So now
The
here's
only
Democrat
time
let me
Kamala
rephrase this.
mentioned
And we
trans
shouldn't.
people, the only time was when she said that she would not do anything to defend trans people. That was the only time she mentioned trans people at all. Was throwing them all under the bus.
Yeah, you don't.
So painful.
This is not new. What's happening? It's a new think tank. No, it's the same thing that's happened 1,000 times. It is just a bunch of rich people who are going to get together and come up with a report that they will make out of whatever they need to skew to say what they want to say, so they can get paid a lot of money to hand that to whoever Joe Manchin is now. And so he can say, I'm going to be cruel to the gays because I'm here to help the blacks. And this is what has been happening for all of America's existence.
I really just think if
there
if
was
you're gonna
never
have,
any DEI.
I just think if you're gonna have, and I have to think there was some DEI, but
No,
the
there
fact
was.
that
I
some
was in it.
people
I have my
some
search-
people misused it as a gimmick was not a reason to get away with it entirely. But
what regular folks think it was is simply the thing at fault. But do go on. I'm sorry.
But the idea that, and this think tank in this article, I'm going to try and cover this with somebody who is an expert on this topic Monday. They say that they need to fight for, or they need to embrace messaging and policy for things that'll work. And I'm like, well, all right, universal health care, better what? All they say is not what Trump went after us for the most. So we're absolutely, whether that was legit or fair, or whatever, we're not going to do that. So it's like,
is not worth listening to.
Well,
anyone who says, I'm going to go to this place and find out what I need to find out, what they're telling you is, I'm going to pay them a lot of money so I have an excuse to be cruel. We already know who these people are. They're a bunch of liars, and they should be, if they even suggest that this is a place that they take a lot of wisdom from, then primary their asses.
Right.
I'm generally of the feeling the time to do a new party is here. I don't care if we I don't care if we do it even within the Democrats, but the difference between now and 2 years ago is that I'm not interested in anything the Democrats have to say unless it's we're giving you money.
Did y'all see that the Democrats gave Republicans free tacos to really teach them a lesson?
That's funny. I'll give them that. That is funny.
Who do you like in the Democratic Party that's in the party that's actually doing anything?
Nobody?
Well, this is the thing. Like I will say that
to be continued.
There may be lefties in the Democratic Party, but the Democratic Party does not represent the left.
Right.
And so if you're a part of it, you're doing more harm. If I'm a leftist and I'm in government as a Democrat, I might be doing more harm to the left movement than if I weren't, right? Because this is, I know this is up for debate and people disagree with me on this, but I think like as soon as you become a member of government, You can't say, well, I'm the only guy that works at the slaughterhouse that doesn't slaughter. You are systemically part of something that is currently not working as well as it should. And I get that being in government is about making it work as well as it should. Without a caucus, that's very difficult. But like, you can't exactly be like, I'm the good guy. Nope. You're just trying to be a public servant. So for me to say, I like this Democrat or I like this politician, I can't do that without saying, well, no, this is a person who wants to be a public servant. That's all I'm looking
I like
for.
their policies. I want to see what they want to do.
Or they just want government to work in a certain way.
What's his name is
like
a little bit like that. Waltz.
Maximize.
Waltz. He's trying to be that, but
I think they're out there. Yeah, sure.
They're out there.
They're probably more interns than Congress people, though.
But I do wish they could percolate to the top. I mean, you want to take the DNC leadership, and it's almost you just want to go poof, poof, slap them silly. Wake up already. It's 2025. Wake up to what the people want. Stop already with the bullshit. It doesn't
that's
work.
The thing is
it doesn't work.
Democrats need to be like afraid of the base in the same way that Republicans are.
Thank you.
There is no left that's actually coherent enough to make the Democrats afraid of anything.
That's a great point.
Exactly. What happened that flipped things so drastically for MAGA? I can tell you, they primaried a couple folks and it scared the hell out of the rest of them. That's what happened.
Yeah.
We have to actually follow through on the threat to primary somebody. It's not enough just to primary somebody. Even if you successfully do it, you got to call the shot ahead of time. You got to say why you're doing it and then get it done. And that's the only thing that will make any change at all politically. As Matt has been saying, God bless him, for years now, we also have to handle the non-political side of things, which is to give literal power to unions with money.
Well, I think it's somewhat problematic to associate political stuff with government. Like unions are political.
Yeah,
all right,
that's
fair enough.
True.
I was referring to policy, but okay, good.
But yeah, I mean, that's why people go, what do you mean by electoral politics? And I'm like, politics that you don't find outside of government, I guess. I don't know. But like, you're right. I mean, a union is very political, and there's going to be, especially when they work with the government and try to, well, who are we going to back here? And they're not exactly what we
everything's
want, just
political,
like everyone
too.
else.
Like,
so,
you know,
like
it's political, all that kind of stuff.
When it becomes a dirty word for me is when a politician is purely political and not a public servant. And there's a lot of that shit. And the rest of the time, they're just like, maintain the low stakes democracy, the duopoly, trade slight majorities, fundraise off the opposition, being the bad guys. And then when we get in power, fundraise and say, look, we're the good guys. And it's all bullshit.
Fundraise. That's the dirty word in all this. Yeah. Fundraise.
And so I think the more you beef up unions and the more you support unions and the more power unions have, the less political they become, because the more average person is in it and they aren't in a union to be political.
Right.
So the politics of it, because government's all politicians and no people, but like a union would be all people and then like the executive branch or whatever. Now I know I'm speaking like I'm not an expert on this, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
fascinating.
If
we're not drawing conclusions here, everybody.
We don't draw conclusions on Left
This is a letter hack controlled show, so it's unscripted.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying what I'm hearing.
We don't suffer people who spend all the time in my chat talking about how mods are dumb either. So
yeah, but mods are dumb. Don't mod me. Don't mod me, bro. Don't mod me, bro.
But the thing is, if do you see my point though? Like if government allowed people to become members, right? Like they'd be outnumbered.
That's what
pretty quickly.
Citizenship is.
That's why government doesn't want unions to be successful, because the people they'd be like, oh shit, the people are going to get the power that way. And that's why, like Jake was saying, I've been saying for a long time, and I'm not the only one, it's just a message I choose to take up, that electoral politics is a small part of the solution going forward, and maybe labor militancy is a bigger part of the solution, because that's where we can pick up where unions can pick up where government leaves off as far as policy, better wages, better working conditions,
Yeah.
better pay, time off, and benefits. But also, like, the people are really calling the shots. That's what I want.
Plus, consider all the things that Joe Biden did. And I don't like Joe Biden, but he did do a lot of useful things for the economy. All the things that he did that are being undone right
Yes.
now.
Undone and
with-
everything's falling apart.
So if it can be done in America, it can be undone in America. So
It
do
takes
it as many
longer
ways
to build something than to destroy it. You could
Yes,
destroy a
the-
house in 4 seconds with a bomb, but it takes a lot longer than 4
Sure.
seconds to build a house.
Yeah.
The point being, if you get something done politically, good. Also, make sure it's done socially. If you get the ability to have unions in your state, get a lot of unions together, so that if somebody tries to undo that, they are now contending with a lot of angry, organized union members. I'm just backing up Matt again. I think it's an astute point.
Yeah, and
if unions
people-
ever had more power than they do, they'd get gunned down.
and people undersell the the amount of union members there are. If you look at a list of union wins and losses, like if you go to the Valley Labor Report and look at their stuff, they put out monthly updates on here's everything that happened with unions this month, and it's this impossibly long list, and it's a bunch of positives and negatives, but they will tell you, despite all the negatives and all the losses, look at and this is where they're like, I forget the percentages, of course, but they say it's a very small percentage of people who are actually winning as far as unions go. But when you look at how many millions of people that is, that's a shitload.
Yeah,
It would take very much more to be like, oh wow, there's more union members than voters now. Like,
and if
you
you
could do that.
Yeah, if you're in any such
That's
organization,
intense.
you immediately get a sense of the bullshit that the people in charge toss at you. Like when there's when an oligarch tries to tell the union, well, we can't afford to pay you
I'll be
anymore,
right back.
we have to shut down the factory. I see you, buddy, but we'd have to shut down the factory. The
Our
union
prices are
know
gonna go up.
exactly. They know exactly what's up. They learn a lesson from that, and the next time, hopefully, they hear a Republican talk or a centrist Dem, they smell the bullshit.
Yeah, I was talking to a guy that works in a grocery store, and he said, I said, so we were talking about wages and rent and all that. And I was like, rent keeps going up, huh? And he's like, yeah, man, it's crazy. My apartment, like, the rent goes up every year and the apartment doesn't get better. And I was like, right. And like, your wages don't match that. So why are they allowed to jack up the rent on you? And he goes, yeah. And why don't I get paid more? And I was like, yeah, why don't you? And he goes, well, if we did get paid more, then they would have to raise the prices of everything, and then we would have less business. And I was like, where'd you hear that from? I was like, that's the bosses telling you that. What? How
That's
about
somebody who would have had to pay you more saying that?
Yeah, I was like, how about instead of like listening to the guy who makes all the money, they listen to the people who earn all the money for the company? And he was like, huh. And I was like, yeah, why haven't you ever looked at it that way? You and your coworkers are helping one dude at the very top bank. You know why he gets all the money? Because that's the guy that's going to do the layoffs and shit and like nickel and dime everything along the way to make sure the company has maximized profits. It's just, and it was very eye-opening for him. He's like, yeah, rent goes up, wages stay the same, don't really go up. And if I did get paid more, I wouldn't have a job. If that's how it works, you need to be very upset.
Well, that's how the people in charge want it to work. You can't afford to live in a house. You become homeless. That's a crime. Then you get sent to El Salvador, or you get sent to like the psychological operation hospitals where it's like, oh, you're living on the street. You must be mentally ill. And then we just send you to a chamber somewhere where we just send you lethally inject you and call it, we're just medically assisting you. So this is what's coming. People don't fight back.
And I don't hear it talked about in
is
American terms. Go ahead.
Right, in American
Arvin,
terms.
it's true. I
So
know.
I can tell you now, having lived in a very small house and then a much larger house, I can tell you, um, there needs to
Yeah, it's
be
darker.
something more like more, I guess practical is the right word, but also like I don't need all this fucking space. And
Right.
like maintaining this space is
Clip
like
it.
Well, McMansions were the thing, but
but like
maybe
No,
they're
no, no.
not.
We
maintaining,
really want to maintain this space. You should
yes,
definitely maintain this space.
maintaining square footage at a point is it will you'll go broke trying to maintain square footage to a point. There's only so much you can do. Okay, so here's when I first moved to the South, we were driving because you got to drive everywhere. You got to drive an hour to do anything. We were driving around and there were all these houses, these big, beautiful barns or farmhouses that
Mhm.
were just dilapidated.
Big, beautiful.
And I was
Oh,
like, how come there's so
redo those.
many? Like, there's a housing problem around here. How come people just let these houses fall apart? And I finally, through talking to people and just thinking about it enough, I realized what happened. There are some weird like squatting laws, but that prevent you from being able to buy these houses in time to fix them up. But here's what happens down here: your family came by this big, awesome house very affordably, right? They move on, they leave the house to you. Well, like I said,
You
you
don't
gotta
wanna live there.
drive a certain distance to, like, work, right? So if you wanna, like, change the roof on this two-story farmhouse, this massive house, that's gonna be pretty expensive. If you have termites or something, if the porch is falling apart, if a tree falls on it, the best option is to walk away. And then, like, I forget how this works exactly,
What a
but somebody
system we got, man. What a
Somebody
world.
Yeah.
can't come al well, yeah, you walk away and you go, "Man, fuck it, I'm gonna rent an
That's
apartment
crazy.
next to where I work and stop spending all my money on gas and upkeep on the car or however you get there," right? I mean, it's a real hassle if you think about it that way. So then people can't just come in and buy it up. There's some rule where you have to wait a certain amount of time for the original person to come back. Oh, you're right. Okay, so think about it. There's no mortgage. You're just paying property tax. If the house was just left to
Oh.
you, you're paying property tax. But if it's falling apart, now it's more expensive than any mortgage would have cost you to like repair and fix and do upkeep. So they walk away. And so now a bank doesn't own it because there's no mortgage. It's property tax. So
Holy
the state
shit.
says they have a chance to come back and catch up
Yeah.
on the property tax, which because the state otherwise is like, we don't really care.
So
We're
they
not
don't
going
sell it,
broke. It's not a loan that we were hoping to cash in on one day, a mortgage loan.
but they
So,
don't
like,
sell
you
it for the
can't
tax.
buy it because it would be more
No.
beneficial to the state to just
Oh my
have
god.
them come back and catch up on the property tax than to sell it to you. And
Wow.
you pay a lot less property tax in overall. But it's really weird because then you
It's
end
an
up with like
awesome system.
hundreds of real otherwise nice homes that somebody was just like, oh well, let them fall apart. And meanwhile, the
We
rest
live
of the
in a
country,
beautiful country filled with the most intelligent people.
empty
We are
houses.
really just having a great
Yeah.
time here in
Empty
America.
houses. And I drive by one like every other day and I'm like, oh, that is the best house with the best view
You got
and
to
all
track
the
down the
happy
owner.
ones.
Just say, "Hey, I'll give you $10,000
Darn.
right now." Like, what else are they like? What are they saving it for something? Just like cash in
I
hand.
don't know if we have as many empty houses stock as that. I don't think so. Not that much. It goes pretty quick now.
Where you're saying in New York?
Yeah, where I am, it's going like these big farms are going. People are coming in from other states and buying the 200-acre
Are
old Amish farms
these
and
are
things.
just in the middle of nowhere next door to another house with a lot of land and
Yeah.
Confederate
Yeah,
flag.
they
You know
were
what I
all
mean? So it's
right,
like,
exactly. We have that here too.
I don't
But
really
it's
wanna live
sad
there.
that it's just sitting there.
In
People
the
need to
Union.
live someplace. Yeah.
yeah, and we
Pathetic.
have and they're building up the area where I live. They're building that up because more
Mhm,
people are like, let's all be closer. And I get that. That makes
mhm.
sense. But like though it's just such a shame massive houses
Urban
on these
sprawl.
great pieces of land are just
Yeah, just doing nothing. Jesus.
and every time they get like worse and worse and worse. Sometimes they'll build a new house right next to it and they won't even it's not even worth their time to like tear it down.
Oh, I've seen that. I have seen that.
And
There
there's
are a couple
businesses
of
that do
properties
it.
like that.
I wanted to repurpose this one
Wow.
old business. It was like a heating and air place. It was a cement building
Mhm.
and it's just been abandoned since I moved here. And I wanted to repurpose it as like an art collective, an art center, and like do gallery openings there and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's probably got asbestos, but
Well, that's a lot of work. That's a big job and a
well, it should be
dedication.
that
But
bitch down.
that
should
would
be able
be
to get like a
so
grant
cool.
or something, right? You should be
Yeah.
able to get funding, and
Well,
that's not gonna happen.
Go call up Ulysses. He'll help you out.
maybe not now. But
But
that is a
anyway,
nice idea. That
when
was
it
a
hits the
very actually
fan,
nice idea.
when it all comes crashing down, just remember some pretty sweet houses down here that you guys can come rebuild pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's a good.
I'm already where I'm going to be. I'm here. I'm not leaving.
But to get
You
back
heard
to
it.
the
Sandy is
trailers,
here.
I would like something a little bit bigger than the 800 square foot house that I had in Colorado. I would like something a little bit bigger than that.
Wait, what? How many
But
square feet?
800, including the carport. Like it was
Yeah, that's small. Mm-hmm.
but those Google executives sure did want it. But like, I'm just kidding. But the bigger isn't better. It's just not.
No. My
It's
house
we
is not
gotta
like
start to
that.
be as sustainable as possible in every way.
Yep.
We just do. And I think that means if honestly, if I'm going to live in a house this size, it should be that much closer to a commune.
Maybe we should just stop building those houses. That's the
I'm
problem.
just
We
telling
are,
my relatives
yeah.
they should move in.
Oh.
Like, I'm serious. Like, it's going to get to a point where things are only more and more difficult. Well, what American dream are we fighting for? Because I like the one where we all rely on each other a little bit more. And if we have to do that in sort of a microcosm, you know, by family or by household, we should be doing it.
I like
That's
that.
what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why should Jake have to have his living situation when he could be, you know, oh, good morning, letter hack. Would you like some orange juice? I said, yeah, Jake, thanks, man. Hey, I'm
What's
making
going
some
on
toast.
with Jake's living situation?
Do you want some toast? I don't know. That's why I just said whatever it is.
I live
Jake,
in an
is this an
apartment.
open invitation, Jake? Are you going to move in, become heterosexual life partners?
I think it's
with Matthew
somewhat
over here?
famous by this point that I live in. First of all, hell no, no offense to Letter Hack, but I'm a Michigan lad through and through. And my Michigan
I'll
apartment
move
is
to Michigan.
And you're good in Michigan.
about
If that's
half
what you're
the
suggesting.
size of a. I don't want to be too woe is me. About half the size of like a boot box, not a shoe box, but a boot box.
But you're near the Great Lakes.
Your old roommate, Jake.
You're near the your old roommate, Jake.
But like,
Yeah,
There's
so
the new
for the
handle.
2 weeks that they're going to be swimmable in the next month or so, I'm very excited.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, people live together and rely on each other and start to grow together, like, you know, food. Make bread.
I mean, what you're talking about is inevitable, certainly. Just generally, consumption going down it's going to happen. It's either going to happen because we get control of it or we fail to and a lot of us die. But I would say in terms of Americanism, self-reliance is more of an American thing. There's nothing wrong with getting a new, like, redefining what it means to be American. I think that's also needed. But I just mean this other stuff from before, where we're talking about, like, you can't quit your job, you can't start a new venture, you can't do anything brave because the option to be brave has been taken away from you. Because you're not gambling with your own luxury. You're gambling with your children's lives. You're gambling with anybody that would ever need to rely on you. Because if you fail at whatever venture you're trying to start, you have no health insurance. You have no safety net whatsoever. So you cannot take a risk as an American. And fundamentally, America should be a place where people can take risks in the pursuit of excellence.
Here's a risk.
I love to pursue excellence. That's why I'm on Left Past 10.
One electrician, one plumber, one teacher, one medic, someone who knows some sort of mountain survival skills, a builder. You see what I'm saying?
You're talking
an
about
IT,
an
a cook.
intentional community.
Yeah,
I'm
and then
down for that.
The doomers and the climate people have been talking about this stuff for 25 years, so this is really.
Your old pal Jake's been talking about
love
it.
it.
But it's funny because you don't have to be a doomer to.
No, not at all. I
like
love
it's the other
Matt.
direction.
You are right on target. This is I love it.
And also,
although here I am living alone, and I'm kind of selfish. That's another problem.
ICE would not be welcome in such a place,
right?
You know,
right?
People show up with guns.
We don't
on
have
their
freezers.
You mean the
we
Proud
do not
Boys?
have anything frozen of any kind.
You mean the Proud Boys?
Yeah, and I just don't want there to be one of each.
Frozen thing.
I like it.
Ice.
I like it.
I got it.
Come on. But like, I don't think there should be exactly one of those. You just need someone who's expert, and then there are everyone else in this community would be. You know, I like the idea of like a biodome. You know what I mean? Where you're that isolated, but then you would bring other people along. You would be like, who wants to learn to be an electrician? Who wants to learn to do whatever it is? Whatever. I'm just the idea guy. I don't know. And I don't see them saying, like I say, hey, I'm here to sign up for the planned community. And they're like, ooh, what do you do? And I'm like, I draw pictures. And they go, oh. We're supposed to starve?
We do need people to draw pictures though, because if you're in a commune, you need what brings a community together better than culture? And you need artists. You need people to generate the culture.
Right.
You need to have like the fucking.
And they're like, what is this lazy
fucking have
all day?
Mayhem sitting in the living room just jamming all day. Like that's it. You just walk throughout the house. They're just jamming in the living room. You know, like you need to create that.
It really isn't a commune without a bunch of filthy artists. We do need that.
Who also does the dishes and takes the trash out and all the other menial shit. It's like you can clean the latrine.
You're gonna be doing some dishes. You just reminded me. I owe my nephew a drawing of the great literary character Venom.
Oh,
yeah.
Can you draw Venom?
I better. I owe the young man.
Speaking of collectives, I would like to share. What? What is that face?
Oh, sorry. I was just thinking I'm going to probably draw a dot on a piece of paper and say it's Venom coming at you from a great distance just to get through tonight. And then
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's really good. I like that a lot. Add speed lines, you know.
Like a text box. Oh no, he's coming in quotes or whatever.
Yep. That's good. That's good.
Jet.
Everyone, please check out the pinned
baby
for this space YouTube page. Please check this out. These are all the people who will be involved one way or
go
another.
To thisspace.tv in your URL browser today.
You will see a countdown there. You will also see all of our social medias. We are pretty much everywhere. Please follow, share, subscribe, support, however you can. This is for the viewers as much as it is for the creators, if not slightly more.
And
I'm so glad Max is finally getting his own channel.
Positive karma Max, that I will have my channel back by tomorrow.
We have 3 solid days pretty much of several hours of streaming and syndicated content, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a place where people can just hang in the chat. It's going to be a good time. So hey, what's up, T-Bone? So please hang out with us and show support. This all launches June 10th. That's Tuesday, June 10th. That's less than a week from today. Check it out.
For those of you that were confused, Matt calls his wife T-Bone.
Yeah. What's up, T-Bone? No, that just Sandy said that like 10 times one night for T-Bone in the chat. Remember. You kept saying T-Bone, and we were like, okay, I guess that's the thing. Let's all do it.
Right on, man.
It's catchy.
It is catchy. Matt, I'm so excited for this space. I'm sorry I was telling jokes. I'm
that's
so
cool.
pumped for this, dude. This is going to be amazing.
So,
Yeah,
So when's it starting again?
June
June
10th.
10th.
Jake,
Yes, so I need
are you
my
going to
channel
be
back. I
participating at
need
any point?
karma.
Yes.
Karma.
That's
Positive.
right. Wake and Jake, 6 to 6:30. We're gonna rip bingers with
Wake
Jake,
and Jake.
and we're gonna.
We had a discussion about this.
Wake.
Despite
That's right.
my well-published love of marijuana, just a little honk and I'm useless.
Wake and Jake.
Gone.
Well, just put in the CBD flower, so that way you don't get as high. Fake it.
Little
Fake
kitty.
and Jake.
Wake, Jake. I
Fake
like
and
it.
Jake. There we go.
I like it. Now, Wake and Jake is cool. I love that. That's a good one. Or Wake with Jake.
Well, you lose the pun.
Are
then,
you
but
going to
I
do?
like
I
it.
know, Wake and Jake. Are you going to do an early show?
No, but I am going to do a show
Oh.
early. But
So
early.
we won't be.
The son and I are not on speaking terms.
So,
But that's actually
Okay.
reminding me, I really should draw this thing to my neck.
when we bring up this space, people inevitably say, and now that we're showing creators,
here
they're
we
like,
go.
what about this person? What about that person? Let me just put it this way. We've either reached out to them and are planning a second wave and spreading out to more than 3 days a week. We will do this. We don't know how long, but we are definitely on it, right? There are people who haven't got back to us. That's okay. Everyone's busy, and this is an independent kind of gig.
Yeah, don't make it more complicated right now.
Yeah. You are working
Let it
very
surprise
hard on stuff you have going on at all. We would like to be able to help with that. That's okay. There will always be time for people to join. There will always be time. And we are not really turning anybody away. Our number one rules are be inclusive and don't be mean or right winger,
Pretty
right?
easy,
Like
though.
basically. So there's plenty of opportunity for other people to be involved. If you want to suggest people to us, it would make more sense to suggest to those creators that they reach out to us or that they find out about us. The letter hack is very easy to get in touch with. I'll put it that way. And that would be the quickest route to getting involved. But yeah, there's lots of, it's going to be fun. We got to a point where we were like, let's lock it in. And I keep saying, I just want to see it happen once. I just want to see it happen. I want to get it off the ground to a point where we're like, okay, we can responsibly bring on more people. So that's definitely going to happen. That's all we talk about. And it's not just me. There's a group of people working on it. And I would be remiss to say, or to leave out that Jake was a key central figure in getting it off the ground initially, because I would not have been able to
clap for
make
Jake.
heads or
Clap
tails
for
of it
Jake,
without.
everybody.
Jake has a lot of production experience in television and stuff like that, and he just knows how it works. And there was a lot of like mystery and pioneering and logistical stuff that together it made sense, but it's not something one person does on their own.
Well, I appreciate the head nod, but make no mistake,
Teamwork.
this thing exists because Matt willed it into being. Well done, sir. I'm excited.
Clap for Matt. I
Clap
love
for
Matt.
Matt.
Everyone clap for Matt. Let's clap for
All right. The team.
Letter hack, insanely talented and smart guy.
The dream team.
I didn't say it.
It's
Aaron
dangerous.
Cousins said
Andrew,
it.
you're so funny.
Dangerous to
The dream
let
team.
the hosts produce. You see why? Y'all, we can't be trusted.
Lock in the fun. How awesome is that? We need fun. We absolutely do. In these dire times, we need fun too.
It's
We
not
do.
all politics either, which is the coolest
No.
part. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff on there that's just
Yeah.
politics free. Of course, you can't really be politics free. And
No, and I promise I won't bring everybody down all the time.
but yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's been a
Yeah.
lot of work on the back end. And if you
I almost said something.
follow that, if you follow that countdown, that's on
Yes.
Thispace.tv in your URL browser today.
If you
So
follow
exciting.
that
And on
countdown, you'll
TikTok.
see that it counts down to a specific hour. Like if you want to look into it and try and do the math, it counts down to a specific hour. And look for promotion for that, like more official. The official promotion is out there, but look for some high profile.
Can you
promoting.
Yeah.
Can you put up the website just so people can see the countdown?
Hell yes.
You know, it's a fantastic countdown timer that we have here at.
Oh my god, I haven't looked at it in a while. It's getting so
It's
close.
it's a little scary.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at it in weeks. But it's
Oh,
getting
wow. Oh my God, I'm on a deadline here with this goddamn YouTube.
It's happening. The next
Jeez.
show of Left Past 10 you will see will be on this space.
That's
Well,
right.
not actually. It's going to be on. It's not this because it's.
Oh my
this,
God.
well, it's going to be on the
Yeah,
other.
nervous
This.
breakdown.
But you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Left Past 10 is going to be
Yes.
on next Wednesday after 10. We will be live
On this space.
The Carl Sagan video
Yep.
was a stroke of genius. Oh, I loved it. Yes.
Yeah, I forget who suggested Sagan, but
But it was
Andrea
a
knew
great
the
it was
quote,
a
I think.
great intro. It was
Um,
a great
Carl Sagan?
intro. Yeah. That video, I loved it.
But yeah, please, like I said, follow us and subscribe and promote and share all that stuff, because the more we do this,
Mm-hmm.
the more I mean, look, we're not you
was.
can't look at this sort of project and go, oh, they're trying to do this. We're obviously trying to promote what people call the online left. We're trying to promote independent left-wing media with
Mhm.
truly independent media. That's what we're doing. We're trying to show strength in numbers, and we're trying to give everyone more opportunity. And there's no way you could ever look at this project and think anything different than
That's
that.
right.
And that's the beauty of it.
It's inclusive, and it's quite nice to feel part of a positive experience like this.
I love opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fantastic to be a part of this space.tv in your URL browser today.
I think
I'm
so.
excited. Max
yeah.
the dog is going to have a show, according to the image. Put that image back up there. Put that back up there. Max the dog is going to have a show. So I'm going to see if Max wants to do an interview.
I was like, what image do you want? She goes, just put the dog up there. And I was like, oh.
The doggy.
And then I shared the image with
There's
somebody
the
on the team,
doggy.
and they said, was there a picture of a dog? And I was like, yeah.
Max, you're going to be on TV.
Okay. He's such
They're
a good
talking
boy.
about you, Max. You're famous.
You a good fellow. Yeah, you good boy, Max.
But we'll have a more formal,
babe.
or not formal,
Alex,
but a more,
haha.
we'll have a more designed oriented
No, this is great.
introduction to this. Stand by. It's going to be good.
Stand
Alex,
back and
haha,
stand
is
by.
So excited.
Wait a minute. Did you get GD? What's her name? Talking politics?
Cosmopolitics.
Gina from-
Cosmopolitics.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Christina.
Yeah. Wait. Bottom right, or second from the bottom on the right. Gal with the microphone.
Gina from
Yeah.
Raw News and Politics. Yeah.
Raw News and
there
Politics.
she is.
I've been covering
Yeah.
her
That's her.
since she had 10,000 subscribers.
I was
Right.
on there recently, but yeah, no, she was on my show. I was on her show,
Good.
and she's going to do this. Yeah. Original content.
I freaking
Yahoo.
adore that person.
It's gonna be
she
good.
Does such good coverage. Excellent job.
It's going to be
Good-
really, really
Matt,
cool.
She's got a great analyst. Mhm.
Yes, she is. And
Mhm.
Matt, you knocked this out of the park. Barry Bonds. We have to test you for steroids. Well
It's been a
done.
lot of work. It's a team effort. There's no way.
It's all Matt. I've been called in. Matt called me. He sent me a shit ton of emails, but like 17 emails, and then I just called him on the phone and I was like, "What is this whole thing?" And he's basically done it all by himself.
No,
it's actually quite impressitive. He's trying to be humble. He's trying to do.
He is trying to be humble, but he
At
has
the
done
risk-
good.
at
I
the
heard
risk-
Ben Dixon's involved. I don't know about that, but I think it's 99%. Matt.
Yeah, at the risk of sounding like a cliche, it was a tremendous amount of teamwork to get to
Yep.
where we are. And if it doesn't, if the whole thing falls apart before we launch,
It's all Matt because he
Then
did all the work. So
won't
if it
fall
fell
apart.
apart, it kind of is all his fault too, in some way.
When
you know,
I
you take the
say-
win and the loss.
when I say a process has been a tremendous amount of pioneering, what I mean is we already know the plan. We know the strategy. We have a method for doing this. If this falls apart, we can do it again better in
Call
less
it that
time,
space.
Right.
quicker,
Yeah.
more
Assessing
efficient.
and learning. Mhm.
So like
True.
we have now, so like imagine like, yeah, it was a good run, we had fun, oh well, it's over. And then somebody comes along and they're like, hey, I want to do it, what should we do? And this is how it's more feasible this time around, and we can learn.
See,
from
that's the
mistakes.
thing
We just
about
do it again.
Matt's genius is
Quicker.
that he's building a structure. They call him Matt the structure letter hack. Strackmine.
Letter hack, insanely talented and smart guy.
I'm never gonna not play.
That's true.
I
That's
know,
true, but
I'm
that's the
telling you.
thing.
I don't
never
even
gonna-
believe that.
But everyone believes it. We all
Right.
appreciate Matt putting in all of the
Yeah.
effort on
It's
this.
such a funny thing for somebody to say about me. It's like,
Why? Why?
do you
Yeah, that's
know
why
me?
Seriously,
Matt
why?
edited. That's
Stop
why
it.
Matt downloaded someone else's video and then
Man,
clicked
I
the
am
part where
fucking
someone
winging
talked
it
about him because
all
he
the
Stop
time.
he thinks it's funny.
Stop.
That's why. There's no other reason. And then uploaded it to StreamYard and put it in the cloud storage so he can put it on at any point throughout the entirety of the stream.
And
It's because he thinks it's funny that there's no other reason.
the whole reason I did it is because I knew Andrea would immediately be upset by it, and it totally
I'm not
worked.
upset. No, in fact,
Go
if-
back and
the
watch
thing-
right after I played it the
Mm.
first time. Go back and watch.
No, see, the
Andrea's
thing is, I'm
reaction.
not upset at all because at the end of the day, this is a letter hack controlled show, and that's the thing about this space is it's a
Tinkerbell.
letter hack controlled space. So
Oh,
there's going to be
funny.
things that maybe Max the dog can or can't say. We'll have to find out. But because he's done all the work.
We love the letter hack, and we appreciate their work.
Pinkerbell asked how many you have set up in the queue.
Too many. So it is very much though utilizing each other's strengths in a positive manner, and that's one reason why I was like, Jake, am I saying dumb stuff? Like, can you tell me the smart thing to do here? If
And
we
then I
try
said,
this, is that dumb? Well, but it got to a point where we were like, let's start writing down the answers to our questions in terms of what may very well be frequently asked questions one day. And I was like, oh, this is a good idea. So we can just sort of document what we know to be true. And that was a liberating moment for the whole project. And I mean, that was like a year ago, Jake, right?
Yeah, man. Bizarre.
Yeah,
It's
man,
bizarre
you
that
guys have been.
It's like last
Man.
July, I think.
existence says 5 days. God dang.
Yeah.
I'm so
I
glad to see
know.
this thing going. I wish it the best. I will do everything in my power
Yes.
to help it. Hey,
And there's
Me
What?
too.
Jake's
Well,
got to go draw.
Gotta get my
I just
piano
I
back.
want Andrea to help me out with something. It might seem strange, but can you ask me if I'm okay?
Hey, Jake, are you
Yeah.
okay?
Jackie, always okay.
Yeah. Jake is
Yeah,
okay.
last July. Jeez, we've been working on this for a
Jake
while.
is okay.
And of course, when Letterhack says we, I mean, Jake was there at the start, and then Matt's really just been doing all of it ever since. Like, he's just been working so hard on it.
Andrea.
David Grossman also brought him in right away.
Yeah, well, yeah, David as well. He's doing like a couple things, but it's mostly Matt. He's working so hard. He's sending out all those emails. If you've ever been a part of this space, your email inbox is going to fill up real quick because he's
It
sending
would
them out.
be, it would be like I would say jokingly at this point that one person could do this on their own, but not before working on it with a big team of people. You know what I mean?
I don't think you could do it on your own. You need that support help. It's a lot of work to get everybody together. You're like the project manager, kind of. You're the
I
guy
don't
that.
know. I
Well,
don't even know about that. I think
I don't. I'm from what I'm seeing, and it's not putting you on a higher. It's just that's how things.
No, it's
shake
fine. I
out.
think Matt should be.
we
Shake out
have
like
he should
that.
be on the hierarchy. He should be put on a
I've been
pedestal.
we
there
have
in my
managed to,
professional life.
making decisions by committee is a bad thing, but we have managed to do
No,
that.
that's not a
We,
bad
we
thing.
it can be, but
Yeah.
we really we don't allow things to just become, we don't run into brick walls. So anyway, that's Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Look for more on this as we get closer and closer. It's very close.
Yeah, I know. Everybody out there, give me some good karma on the YouTube.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be
Hey,
all fixed up by
people.
next time.
Yep.
Can we stop getting upset at them for?
I'm not upset. I'm just
I'm upset.
positive
I'm
that
No, I
it's
mean on
doing
Twitter. On Twitter, do you
Oh.
need people to keep supporting you that way, or
that.
where are we
Oh,
at?
I don't know.
always make a ruckus on Twitter. Just keep it going until she's back.
Yeah, because let's just say like
That's actually what one of these people that does tech support on a YouTube video, has that kind of channel, said to keep doing that.
So do this, Sandy. If you get to a point where you're not hearing back from them and you feel like you need to take further action, like you were saying, involving a lawyer or something, let me know. And then I'll get everyone on the Discord and everything to go back to social media or go back to Twitter and start all over again.
I feel bad. I don't want people to go there.
It won't be you. It'll be other people.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't
All
stop
right.
people.
You ever notice how Letterhag gives himself money? Look at that. Letterhag.
Gifting memberships doesn't give me
Dom.
money.
I've gifted memberships from courtesy
Wonderful.
of the Letterhack. He's
I am
always gifting
matching.
himself.
I am matching in the best way I
A
can.
reference frame.
I'm matching other people's gifts. And speaking of which, thank you, my dogs are goth.
Oh, thank
Gifting
you.
5 Letterhack memberships.
What a
Thank you so much.
sweetheart. She
So
is a sweetheart.
I know. So let's go around and talk about what we got going on. I have Chloe Humbert on the show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then Friday night, I'm on Movie Night Extravaganza to talk about the classic scary Suspiria, which is a just the guy who made it said he wanted to look like a Disney movie nightmare. And like totally pulled that off. It's a scary movie. But that's what I'm doing. What do you guys got going on?
Well,
Sandy, I'm just kidding. What did I do as soon as I heard? What did I do as soon as I heard?
I have a lot of other
Sandy,
things going on besides.
What did I do as soon as I heard?
You reached out to me to help.
Yeah. It was a Sunday morning too.
Right away.
And Letterhack was knee deep in working on this space too. So he set aside his busy schedule to help Sandy.
I'm grateful. There's a lot of wonderful people out there.
I know people think I'm a jerk, but I was.
Nobody thinks you're a jerk.
I was right on.
I do. I think he's a jerk.
All right, stop.
Okay. Anyways,
Matt led the charge, and it was great.
Go ahead,
Thank
Andrew.
you.
Well, I turned 29 on Saturday. So I've been basically getting drunk every day for the last couple of days. So I'm going to continue doing that over the course of the next week.
Happy birthday video.
So
thank
how's it feel?
It's not so good. Not so good.
They say 30's over the hill. That's not true. 30 is like very young.
Well, she's 29.
No, but I'm saying you're cresting then if that's the thing.
Cresting?
Oh
God.
How do you feel sincerely? How do you feel at 29?
I mean, could be better.
I'm not 28.
40 is epic. I hit 40 and was like, oh my God, this is great. 45, very different.
I don't remember it.
Not so good.
And now 50, I give a fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like it goes in waves where you're like, I feel like I should be doing more at this age. And then you get 5 or 10 years along and you're like, what was that about? Fuck all that.
What was that all about?
It's
Well, now
because-
you're having
A
this
blip
is the
on the
midlife
radar of
crisis for
memory.
this space. You
Oh,
know,
I've had
Letterhack
that.
had a
is
midlife
well behind
crisis
me.
and was like, I need to start a left-wing media collective, independent working class media. Go to
I love it.
thispace.tv.
That's right. That's right. Yahoo. Happy birthday to you.
But I really did have like, I remember thinking, I said to a guy, I was like, dude, I think I'm having a midlife crisis. He goes, well, at least you got it out of the way. And I was like, that's a great point. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm coming out of it right now. I think this is how I turn this thing around.
I
Yeah,
can't
well, I
remember
had
my
my
midlife crisis either.
the average trans person dies at like 30 something. So I had my midlife crisis when I was 15.
What?
It was pretty awesome.
My
So
stepmom
I'm feeling great right now.
is 71 and she's trans and she's 71 and doing great.
Nice.
So
Yeah, don't you just
Doing
think
great.
like, especially in the modern age, a lot of people squander their early 20s. Maybe you're in college, maybe you're just getting drunk too much, maybe you didn't do college as good as you could have, and then you spend all this time making up for it. And I think it makes sense that by the time you're 40, you're like, what the hell was that all about? I'm gonna relax.
well, I was in my
I'm
career.
still alive.
Gotta take a break.
I was in my career, and that was my focus of life was that career.
I
and
had just
my
gone
kid.
freelance. Oh, but so when you were saying when you were 40 or 29?
Yeah, 40.
Okay.
When I was 40, I started in my 30s because I was going to school before that. And so when I was 29, I had a kid and a husband and a house and school and bartending and like crazy life, always working and busy and all
I got
that.
a dog.
Like the American life, you have to try to do it all.
I
Yeah.
love America.
I keep
Did it
seeing
I love
all.
America. I love Trump. I love Israel.
keep seeing these commercials, these
Yeah.
commercials that are like, are you planning for your
Oh.
financial future? Call this number now. And I'm like, nobody's planning for their fucking financial future. What are you talking
Except
about? What world
Howard
are you in?
Lutnick. Howard Lutnick is.
Are
He's
you
tr-
planning for your financial
Ooh.
future? And then they're like, hey,
This
now
is
that you're
how I-
married, you're gonna have to buy a
on.
house. And I'm like, where are you? Are in America?
I invest in silver. This is how I plan for my financial future.
Nice. There you go.
I love silver.
I don't have a financial future. I had a financial past. I have a financial
financial
present.
past.
Yeah,
I
have a
used to have
financial-
finances
Right.
at some point in time.
Yeah, I did. Now I'm financially just today. That's what I can think
Yep.
of. What bill's coming out? Make it today. Now I have to go to the goddamn vet and get medicine for 6 cats.
I had to stop reporting on Howard Lutnick because I have a friend whose name is one letter different,
Oh no.
2 letters different. And I kept saying his name accidentally. If you go back and watch anything I ever said about Lutnick, you'll hear me screw up that
no.
last name and be like, why can't he get it right? And it's like, no, I kind of am getting it right, but in the wrong way.
Yeah, right in the wrong way.
Just saying
Well,
the
that
name
guy-
I'm used to saying.
That guy is really very comedic to me, and he's such a narcissist, and he's about the worst one I've seen next to the orange turd.
He's
the two of-
horrible.
oh my gosh, I saw him today. He's talking about the NOAA as if he has inside knowledge. How we have 2,000 meteorologists using green screens and computers. He's just an idiot. He's not
is
smart.
credited with
He's not smart.
he worked for an investment banker.
Cantor
in it-
Fitzgerald. I know they got.
And so when the head of that company died, he was in a legal dispute with the widow for years, and then he's credited with embracing crypto and turned things around there, right? Took over. So first it was Scott Bessent, who was the guy in charge in that position during the first Trump administration.
Yeah.
Musk said, nah, he's going to be running the mill. He's going to be by the book. Get Lutnick to do it because that's crypto. And then, of course, that's how Lutnick got in. It was a Musk recommendation. So then who's in charge of, was it Cantor Fitzgerald? Is that the
Now?
bank? Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
do you know
It
who?
was no James.
He put his 2 sons in
Oh.
charge of it, who are like still in their
Okay.
20s. So like it's like Succession. He just immediately showed nepotism. Put his kids. One of his kids wanted to be a rapper. That's what he was aspiring to. He had one song on Spotify. It was called California Roll, and
Hilarious.
California
but
roll.
anyway, just
the
it's
kids
just
of
it
these
gets
people.
the
Are
more you
probably-
talk about it, the more cartoonish it becomes.
Yes, cartoonish. That's a good analogy.
He actually was taking one of his sons to school on his first day of school on September 11th, and that's why he wasn't in the World Trade Center.
Oh, jeez.
Howard Lutnick.
Well, he got lucky a few times. Doesn't mean he's smart.
God had a plan for him.
He's he's crafty, if anything. But he just rubs me such the wrong way. If I met him in person or had to do business with him, I wouldn't like him, and I would see right through him. As a businesswoman that I was for my career, I would not like him.
I don't think he sets out to be likable.
No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
It's 12:05 a.m. on the East Coast.
You have a show in the morning.
I have a show in the morning with a guest, and
And
I'm
This is a
going
letter hack
to
controlled show.
let them do the
I
talking.
do not consent to having the show end at 12:05. I consent to the show ending at 12:06. I think that would be a lot more appropriate.
Tomorrow we're getting thunderstorms, but I am getting up early and going outside before it happens.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I have some things to additions.
All right, it's
to
12:06.
my green stalk garden. Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't even do my Anthropocene gardener videos.
Just film them anyway.
Yeah, I probably will. Probably will.
Yeah, just have a whole bunch of content ready to rock as soon as you get back.
Yeah.
Be like, "Bup, bup, 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 bup."
Yeah, I have a
content.
tripod.
I love
that
watching
put
content.
there.
I love making content.
Yeah.
I love producing content.
I
I'm
got
just so
carrots
content
and
with all the content. I
squash.
love
I got so
content.
much good
I'm a
stuff.
content creator.
You're a
I love-
content creator.
I love
I'm a vegetable
producing
creator.
Content.
How are your vegetables, Matt?
Yeah, Matt.
Well, technically they're not mine, but they're great. We
Everything's
are.
Beautiful.
My wife
down there.
is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she
And
is
you've
so
got
good at this.
you've got the climate for a lot longer season than I do. So
Oh
that's,
yeah,
yeah. Me,
Yeah, it
I'm just
starts
putting
in, like,
things in
January.
now. I'm putting things in now. We had a freeze last week. Hey, Kim. Yeah, of
Close
course
up.
we're going to come back. My moderator, Kim, is here. And of course we are coming back.
Kim's
Because
here.
there's a lot of dedicated people and devastated people. I have been hearing from everybody. I didn't know people really loved our channel so much.
Hang in
and I'm
there, Kim.
happy.
Hang in
Yeah,
there, Kim.
baby, I'm gonna
Make
get
Kim
it.
a mod in the Letter Hack show.
Is it Kim Centro?
Yes, Sentinel.
Sentinel. I'm not seeing.
I just saw her. I just saw her. Kim.
Soar? I just
saw
saw her?
Okay, I'm in New
What
York.
on God's
Saw
fucking...
her.
I just
saw
saw
her.
her?
I saw her. I saw her.
Kim, say something in the
is that?
There
chat.
she is.
Oh,
She
what the hell?
ECH will come back. 12:06 a.m. ECH will come back.
Soar.
Love you, Kim. Hun, when you
I love
go
how
out-
Sandy's like,
I
there
saw
she
her.
is.
Albert C said content controller after she said ECH will come back, and Violet was talking about managed to use brown fat to shrink tumors. That was the comment before
Wait.
that.
It's somebody. Oh, it's not in my chat.
Yeah, it is. I don't have a chat open. I don't have a chat.
Well, Jake does.
Oh.
Oh, where could she be? Oh,
in Jake's
okay.
chat.
Kim,
Jake.
you're in Jake's chat. That's
wow.
cool. Good. All right. That's
Wow,
awesome.
good for her. Avoiding Letter Hack. That's
Diverse chats, because I have
No,
no
that's fine.
chat. I didn't put up
that's-
any other
No
chat.
problem.
Left past 10
Let's
next week
see.
will be also averting Letter Hack because we'll be on this space.
No, that's fine. No, I don't. That's fine. I don't care.
Just losing my most highly rated show.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
On behalf of Sandy, I would like to retract that thank you and that wish for a good night. Please have an unpleasant night. That would make me more
It's technically
satisfied.
morning anyway. It's morning.
Yeah, it's morning.
You will be in mourning if my
Have a-
plans are
have
successful
a-
and your lack of a good night.
Everyone
not
have a good
sleeping.
gray area between night and morning.
Yeah, there you go.
Speaking of
Weird.
gray area, we can see Matt was on the screen there.
Ah, good one.
I'm gray now.
Very good, very good. That's right.
I'm no longer purple.
Very good.
You gotta update that. I do not present that. That is not correct.
Watch this space.